Town Square Media.
If we take the jail first, we'll have a place to lock up all the others. Then there's Keeler. He took over the bank as soon as the judge was murdered.
But I think that's because when you make tough decisions, you're left to deal with the repercussions.
Seriously, dear, I've done so many of these shows across the nation, helped so many people, and guided them to my website. And
look at this.
What is this, a joke program? I mean, what type of a program are you running here?
Here comes the ball.
Go, go, go.
Did you hear that hair? Yo, New York!
Morning radio personality Bill Keeler is no longer on the air. He was fired yesterday over a contract.
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Paul, well, in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning, Jim. Go to hell! You know, we're always talking about that transition, the time where you're in a bit of a flux where we've been, like 50s, 60s, maybe 70, and then all of a sudden it'll be 80, and then back into the 50s and 60s. Well, it looks like we're making that transition to the next stage, because after today, the long-range forecast for the next 2 weeks shows mid to upper 70s to mid 80s, low to mid 80s.
Well,
all the way through.
This will be interesting. My app says next Monday 62 with rain.
I didn't see that at all.
Tuesday 65 with rain.
It shows you how this just completely changes. Yeah, I don't have that.
What do you have Monday?
76.
Wow.
Yeah. But again, who knows how these apps are, what changes. But at least this week, we'll be in the low 80s through most of the week this week, once we get through the next 2 days. So I'll take that as things begin to warm up just a little bit. Pretty good with that.
I was saying this over the weekend. You know, after the Super Bowl ends, we're in now the second week of February. And I go, all right, 2 more weeks, we can get to March Madness, and that's the kickoff to spring, and the weather changes, and everything will be great. I would be so deflated to know that we were entering June. Today is June 1st, and we're just starting that transition.
Yeah.
Isn't that deflating?
It is a bit, yeah. Okay, Tiny Power's coming up in a few minutes. We've got the latest on the ceasefire, which doesn't seem to be really a ceasefire, but there's a deal on the table. It's going to be interesting to see if Iran is willing to accept the deal. We'll talk to Tanya on all of that. The budget is done in New York State. Assemblyman Brian Miller is on to talk about that. Hobica's free money question of the day. Davey, what are we going to start with this week? It was a big week last week. We had a couple of winners.
155 today.
And Jeff, could you hit that up there on the top of the air?
It is warm.
What'd you say again?
155, or do you want to go up more?
I'm just going to let you run it. All right, 155. And also a chance at Fight Night tickets, which will be a week from this Friday at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino Boxing Hall of Fame action, June 12th, 6 p.m. You'll have a chance to win tickets to Fight Night at the Turning Stone. Plus, we have movie passes to end up in the mix. So there's a lot to deal with there. That new movie by I don't know who is in it. I forget who's in it, but the new movie that's about D-Day. I haven't had a chance to get to see it, but that looks like it's a really good movie.
What's it?
It's all about
Pressure?
Pressure. It's all about pressure. Now, there's pressure on people to come up with the right decision, but it's a low pressure they're dealing with. It's all about when is the perfect time to strike Normandy. based on the weather, and apparently there's huge drama around that. We've never really seen a movie or historic approach to this event based on the weather, and this is what it's really all about.
This is the one with Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser, yeah.
And he
plays. He plays. I think I just don't see it.
I guess in theory I don't either, but the photos I saw, I think they pulled it off.
Okay. Well, you would hope they would, right?
Yeah, it's at least close enough for my
All
eye.
right. Okay. All right. Anyway, that movie is one to keep an eye on. John Zogby Strategies is on this morning. Assemblyman Robert Smullen, fresh off his NY21 debate with Constantino, and we'll talk to him, get his take on the budget, and then what he thinks about his first debate. I got to tell you, he has completely conformed to the President Trump agenda, like completely.
Yeah.
And this was someone who had his own thoughts, especially when it came to the military. I'm not sure I necessarily see that now as he's trying to win this primary over the guy who was endorsed by President Trump, Anthony Constantino. And Davey, this is really exciting. Boxing Hall of Famer Christy Martin is on this morning. The real Christy Martin, not Sydney Sweeney. Sweeney got a lot of criticism. They said she was just way too pretty for that role. And I thought we saw the movie. I thought they did a great job. Sweeney did a great job in this film.
Yeah, I'm excited because starting next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be over at the Boxing Hall of Fame.
You'll be there, covering hard.
Yeah, I got my credentials in the mail at my house on Saturday.
All right. Manansky. Oh, and by the way, Davey, 13 runs, 1 inning, 11 hits. Wow.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, the Mets had a few of those.
Wow. Not a 13-run inning.
That's true, but listen.
They did post some runs.
A win is a win, and the Mets sweep the Marlins after just a week and a half ago losing and being swept by the Marlins in Miami. So a big win for the Mets, and there's still talk that this is a team that could turn things around, but it's all these young kids. It's the young kids. Although Soto had a grand slam, I think it's only his 4th grand slam in his career. Had a grand slam home run yesterday.
Yeah, also Carson Benj, I think, had a home run in the first inning of that game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's go. You got to catch
Marcus
a little
Semien
momentum.
hit one, too.
Yes,
yeah, they had it was all home run action for a little bit. So, and then we mentioned the Yankees there and the New York Knicks. You kind of called this, didn't you, this matchup?
I did, actually. As the playoffs began, I made a small little futures bet, I guess it's called, that it would be Knicks and Spurs in the final. And that was 21-1 odds. So I was happy to see the Spurs pull out the victory on Saturday.
Yeah.
Really excited about that. The Knicks, though, stayed hot. Have obviously stayed hot. They've been resting currently back-to-back sweeps. And again, I continue to be stunned at how they are blowing teams out. And I don't know that can continue against the Spurs, but I do think the Knicks have a chance to win this.
First time since 1973 they would win the NBA championship, and 2009 the last time, or 1999. What was it?
The last time the Knicks were there was 99. The last time they won it was 73. Yeah.
All right. Tanya J. Powers with Fox News Radio. What is the latest on the 60-day ceasefire deal? Tanya's on the line right now in New York City. Tanya Powers, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
What do we know after a nice long weekend?
Well, there is not a deal as of yet. On Friday, the president had publicly vowed to reach a final determination on the deal during that 2-hour meeting in the White House Situation Room with the top aides with him. That ended without a decision. He said early this morning on social media that Iran wanted a deal and suggested that criticism from Republicans and Democrats had made the negotiations more difficult. At this point, overnight, we know that the U.S. and Iran The U.S. said it bombed radar and drone sites in Iran. Tehran they said this was in response to Tehran shooting down an American drone over the weekend. They say it was in international waters. CENTCOM does. So that's, in a nutshell, sort of where things are at this point.
Okay, and I find that they agree on, everybody agrees. Everybody's agreeing, except on a few very important key issues like the uranium, whether or not Iran gets to continue its nuclear program. They say it's civil. The U.S. says they're trying to build a nuclear weapon. So it's those issues that it seems that Iran is struggling to come to an agreement. And then, of course, if President Trump were to say yes to an agreement, anything less than that, we'd be worse off than we were prior to all of this. So an interesting stalemate is where we're at right now.
Yeah, and it's actually, I mean, oil prices are climbing today after the news about the military strikes, kind of resuming there between the U.S. and Tehran. This comes as gas prices have dipped a little bit. They're at $4.32 for average regular gallon of gas, according to AAA today. That is up. That is almost double. That it's gone up almost 40. It's gone up 45%.
Yeah.
So since the war started, so it's up quite a bit as we're getting into the thick of summer travel now.
The other, and this isn't going to necessarily mean all that much for us in the Northeast this summer, although it does right now, because a lot of people, a lot of farmers markets, and even people at home grow their own tomatoes. But tomato prices. It's the new what was it? Potatoes. The price of potatoes were high, or
eggs were way up. Toilet paper, that was going back to COVID.
Well, they're saying that tomatoes has become the latest big inflated price item. A 45% increase in tomato prices right now, which with a lot of Italian restaurants here, that's a biggie for us. So. But all of this should change if this all ends, right? I mean, that's what we're hearing.
I mean, it'll take a while. It's not, everything isn't going to just have a reset.
Right.
Because the oil price is going up. That's significant, even though, gas prices have dipped a little. The two sound weird, but the gas prices lag a little bit after the oil prices. So it'll be a little while before, the jump in those oil prices are actually reflected at the pump. But yeah, it would take a while for all of this to settle back down. It wouldn't just be like, okay, we have a deal and tomorrow everything's good. That's not how this works.
All right, Tanya, we appreciate the update. Have a great week. Thanks so much.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya J. Powers with Fox News Radio. Malaski with an update here at 6:35.
Good morning, Bill. We have some pretty thick fog and 44 degrees.
I must say, if you get away from the river, no fog at all. It's just sunshine.
Oh, is it just here?
Yeah. But it's along the canal, along the river, right to the deepest part of the valley.
It's so thick.
But it's thick out there right now.
Like
here.
You can't see the sun.
Yeah. It's
here
crazy.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Bill, Iran is rejecting reports that President Masoud Pezeshkian wanted to resign. Iran International, which is a news service headquartered in the UK, reported over the weekend that Pezeshkian submitted a letter of resignation in protest over the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps' power when it comes to wartime decision-making. State-affiliated media are rebuffing that claim. Mike Pence, that is, says President Trump's second administration has departed from the conservative agenda. The former vice president made the comment on NBC's Meet the Press Sunday. He added that he'd like to see Republicans get back on running on conservative principles again. Pence also took aim at the president's anti-weaponization fund, calling it deeply offensive and a bad idea. The suspect in the deadly shooting of a Virginia deputy has reportedly been captured in North Carolina. Investigators say Deputy Logan Utt and his partner were conducting a welfare check when the suspect opened fire on them Friday night. Utt was killed. His partner was wounded. Authorities reportedly spotted suspect Michael Puckett on a game camera in Surrey County, North Carolina yesterday, ultimately leading to his capture. Remnants of a meteor that exploded over New England on Saturday afternoon landed in the middle of Cape Cod Bay. NASA says the fireball fragmented above northeast Massachusetts and southeast New Hampshire at around 75,000 miles per hour, causing a loud boom. Did you see this video?
I did see the video, and I spent the next, 30 minutes after seeing the video looking through camera footage at my house to see if I actually had video. And I got to tell you, I needed a blue video, something really nice and blue, and the skies were completely blue. And at 2:36, this happened at 2 o'clock. At 2:36, I was taking videos of the sky, but it happened at 2.
You just missed it.
I just missed it. Apparently, it was quite visible for a lot of people here in the area, and it shook like windows, the boom that occurred in Massachusetts.
Google is requesting approval from the federal government to release up to 32 million mosquitoes in California and Florida as part of its debug program. The initiative looks to stop bad bugs with good bugs by releasing hordes of sterile mosquitoes to eliminate ones that carry disease.
So this is what they were doing in Maine. We've talked about this. It sounds like what they did in Maine worked well enough for them to do it somewhere else. And these mosquitoes will mate with the current mosquitoes, and they're immune to any of these diseases. If it all works out.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that mosquitoes are the deadliest animal in the world.
Well, there are a few that are more deadly, but they're like number 4 on the list.
I know that's.
I understand. I just read this whole list and breakdown. I'll give it to you in a second. It's in my history, my browser history.
And Bill, bizarre story: a teenage girl facing charges for allegedly stabbing 3 horses in Las Vegas. Police discovered early Saturday morning that someone had attacked the horses that were there for a National Horse Association event. The suspect was competing in that event. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 6:39. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Real nice looking Monday morning. Clear sky around. Sunshine will mix with just a few clouds today. There could be a passing shower. Really no significant rainfall, and pretty comfy 72. Tonight clear, still the cool side, 45. North Country will get a little bit cooler. Might see some 30s. Tuesday sunshine, slightly milder, 75. Wednesday looks great. Lots of sunshine. Near 80 and low 80s for the rest of the week. I'm meteorologist Ray Stejik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, some sunshine, 45 degrees at 6:40.
All right, hold tight. We will take some calls, some comments that you might have. Mike's already piping in here this morning. Some comments on YouTube. We'll get to all of that coming up. Hold tight. 6:40 at WIBX.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We're the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Meet Anthony Constantino, running to represent us in Congress.
First off, you. I see through your game.
Wannabe rapper, wannabe Republican. But he can't rap his way out of reality. He's a lifelong Democrat who helped fund Trump's impeachment. After the George Floyd riots, he called our cops racist and sold Kill the Police stickers. He claims he's America first, but he shipped jobs overseas, even replaced workers with robots. Anthony Constantino, worse than a wannabe. He's a fraud.
And I know just how this ends.
The real conservative in the race? Robert Smullen, a Marine colonel. He fought for our country. Smullen was appointed by President Trump and will fight for the America First agenda. He's the Republican conservative and law enforcement endorsed candidate. On June 23rd, vote Robert Smullen for Congress. Proven patriot, ready to serve.
I'm Robert Smullen, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Robert Smullen for Congress.
With temperatures rising and flooding becoming a problem, is your septic system backing up? Are your drains clogged and not moving? Don't wait for a messy disaster. Call Drain Masters now. 315-363-7802. From septic system emergencies to stubborn clogged drains, Drain Masters has the professional team ready to respond fast. Septic problems, clogged drains, flooding issues? Drain Masters. 315-363-7802.
You love yard sales, but let's be real. You could spend all weekend driving around and still miss out on amazing finds. Over 100 vendors all in one place. Find antiques, furniture, household items, tools, brand new clothing, kids' clothes, toys, collectibles, hidden gems, and so much more. No driving all over town. Park once, shop, save, and treasure hunt all day long. The world's largest yard sale at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 20th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sponsored by the Potting Shed Antiques, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and James Mitsubishi.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, good morning. It's 6:43. Lots of stuff to get into. As Davey has said, what did he say, 155?
I think so. Yeah,
$155 plus boxing tickets on the line this morning for the Hobica Free Money question of the day. I can see. I found the chart that I was looking at, World's Deadliest Animals, and the way I read it incorrectly. You're right. It is mosquitoes, or that story is right. But I was really most surprised because I've heard the mosquito thing before, how many people they kill in the world carrying disease. Do you know what number 2 is? Humans are number 2 as the world's most deadly animal.
Are we considered an animal?
We are, yeah. In fact, we are unique in that we kill sometimes just to kill. Whereas most animals, when they kill, it's about survival. It's about protecting their young ones or what have you. But we like use strategy to determine who we're going to kill. It's like let's
conspiracy.
Yeah. And then you have these weirdos that just stalk people and kill them just to kill them. It's kind of interesting. But they say mosquitoes number 1, humans number 2, followed by, and this is all based on animals that kill humans. This is what this list is based on.
Okay.
And number 3 on the list is snakes. Number 4 on the list, dogs.
What?
Yeah. And
this is worldwide, by the way, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Number 5, freshwater snails. That was the one that kind of grabbed me. My son is big with the ponds, the little ponds, and freshwater snails he added to our pond, and he pulls them out, and they sell for quite a lot of money, but he's apparently breeding them in our pond, and I'm like, let's make sure these aren't the killers. But it's usually it's in stagnant water, and this certain type of snail, freshwater snail, will carry a disease that kills humans. And apparently in certain parts of the world it's a real problem because 14,000 humans are killed by these freshwater snails every year. I can keep going. Kissing bugs, I don't even know what that is. Sandflies is next on the list. Roundworms, and finally scorpions.
Wow.
These are the animals that apparently kill.
It's funny because, like scorpions, that's kind of scary, but we don't have too much fear of that here, right? I mean, there's not a lot of scorpions around.
I don't think there are any. Although there may be, you never know. Somebody might own one. But certainly possible.
Right. The mosquito thing is scary, though. I mean, we see this last year. I don't know if I'm not saying this is the first time ever, but there was an older gentleman in I think Onondaga County, or maybe it was even closer to us than that, who died of Eastern equine encephalitis, which is typically a horse disease.
You also
a lot
have
of horses.
Mosquitoes carry so many different diseases, which makes it. But to have that happen up here, you don't feel like that's as common up here.
Again, to my knowledge, I don't ever remember that happening. Having in the last 15, 20 years reporting on a human dying from Eastern equine encephalitis.
Here's Kathy in Rome. Hello, Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning. I have to get back to you. First off, I have to ask you, have you watched the new show, The Duttons?
I did. We watched one episode and kind of haven't watched anything since.
What's it about?
It's the
spin-off
spin-off
Yellowstone.
of Kevin Costner's Yellowstone without Kevin Costner. What'd you think of it?
Well, I thought it was pretty good along the way. I didn't like this past Friday.
Okay.
They had
Spoiler alert.
It was sad. They had the cattle had foot and mouth disease, and they had to be killed and buried. And I fast forwarded through that. That was
I didn't
a
want to
sad
see
episode.
It. They say my wife has said I have foot and mouth disease often.
Yeah.
I feel like I put my foot in my mouth.
Oh, all right. I have to tell you that I have my new insurance.
Okay.
So I am all set. I went back to my agent and I said, I want to rest in peace and not have to worry. So my old policy, I didn't have the coverage and I was paying a little over $900. I says, this is what I want. I want the sewer in case it backs up.
Yeah.
I want the protection on the water and sewer pipes.
Smart.
Plus everything else. And the agent gave me a good deal for almost $800. So I was happy.
Okay.
Wait, are you saying it was actually cheaper?
Well, they looked around to the different companies, and I said, I want everything the way I have it, but I want the increase of the added coverage.
Sure, right.
And they look into it for me, and it got me a good deal. So I tell people, get out there, get your added protection in case you have a problem.
And make sure you're updated for replacement, like if your house were to be destroyed for, God forbid, that you could replace it and feel comfortable that it's updated.
So we are updated all around for the house, garage, and everything else, and don't have to worry about the water and sewer pipe.
They tell you that it's very important to do is to catalog everything in your home, and that means going through and doing a list of all the valuables and the belongings that you have. So, God forbid, if there was a fire, you could show, here's what we want, but not just show the insurance company what you need to replace, but even beyond that, Kathy, remembering what you have. That's a problem.
Definitely.
Because all of a sudden everything's gone and you're like, oh, I know I had this, but what did I? So can I tell you a really cool way to do this? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And it's funny because I was actually doing it over the weekend. You go to if you're using AI, you listen to this, and I actually can. I'm going to read exactly what I put in here. Are you ready for this? It's crazy. So on a cell phone, I went to. I'm using ChatGPT. Let's see, where is it? And of course now I won't be able to find it. Of course, that really blows. That'd be awful if I had a fire and I couldn't find it. Anyway, I went in and said, here it is, inventory for insurance. And this is what I said to ChatGPT, because I speak to it like it's a human. I'm trying to take an inventory of my belongings for insurance purposes. If I took photos, could you inventory the rooms in my house? And Chat GPT came back and said, yes, if you take photos of a room for several photos from different angles, I can help create a detailed inventory for insurance purposes. So I took the pictures and it would say, that picture I needed a little wider. So I took like 4 or 5 pictures of one. I started with one room, and it just went down the list.
No kidding.
Down the list. It was unbelievable.
Naming brands and everything?
Brands and everything. And then you can go back in. It'll create a spreadsheet for you. I said, let's start with this picture. And I used a room that we have in the house. And it goes down the list. Wicker love seat, sofa, decorative throw pillows, round patio table. You can tell that I'm outdoors here. And then it goes down the dining room chairs, 4 dining room chairs, an indoor-outdoor rug. I mean, it's unbelievable. Even went down, here's one, a Keeler show sign I have on the wall. An old sign from the
What's
program.
that worth?
$0. But anyway, it inventories everything. And now I just have to go 4 to 6 pictures from each room, and it'll do it room by room.
Well, don't forget.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then you say, please put all of this in a spreadsheet. And then not only do you save it in the cloud, but maybe put it in your fire safe. Okay?
Can't beat that.
No. Do you use do you use AI, Kathy?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm having to go around with a simple camera.
Right.
And
That's a good idea.
Shots,
just having just having the photos is probably a really good idea.
But I just wanted to call, and let everybody know that, they can go to their agent, and because I think a lot of people don't think about their water and sewer.
You're right.
Sewer backups. So
all right, Kathy. Thank you.
Little helpful hint to everybody. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
We should contract you to do a helpful hint, one helpful hint every week.
That sounds good. All right.
All right. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. When she wants to get off, she's like, okay, yeah, that sounds good, Bill. I'm not doing that.
Have a good one, Bill.
Yep. See you later. Not going to do that. Not doing that one.
Talk to you next time.
My wife is like, all right, okay, really great, brilliant idea with this AI thing. But wouldn't the picture just work?
Listen, if you did go through that, which is a terrible thing, you would now have to go and make a list after the fact.
Yes,
you couldn't
but if
just
you
submit a
have the
photo
list,
to your insurance company and go, hey, replace all
you
that.
You already have the list.
It
might
makes
be
it easier.
Positive. But then the problem comes in, well, I took that picture back in 2022. Since then, we added a lot of stuff, and we got rid of some stuff. And you got to kind of update it, I would imagine.
Periodically. Don't forget the valuables that you might have in your drawer, right? Or like the jewelry box.
The things that you're hiding. Maybe you're hiding
clothing,
stuff.
All the clothing in the closets.
A 108-year-old great-grandmother from Delaware I find this interesting. Apparently, it's in the water there, Biden. An 108-year-old great-grandmother from Delaware is still driving and just renewed her license through 2033.
That's scary to me. I'm sorry.
When, by the way, she will be 115. It may not sound like good news for some of us on the roads. The good news is meeting Susan Young Brown, who actually is quite a gem. Here she is at 108 talking about her birthday. Here we go.
I'm over 108. They renewed my driver's license until 2033. When I get up in the morning, I get down on the floor and I have an exercise routine. I think I've been doing it for the last 20 years.
Wow.
Wow, so she started that at 88, that good morning, get on the floor exercise routine.
Here she is, 108 years old.
Which, by the way, I deal with this all the time. I guess it's only going to continue to get worse as I age. But, the routine aches and pains and some back issues, I have to tell you, getting on the floor is like one of the best things for you.
It is.
Do some stretches you don't typically do. Get on the floor, get up off the floor. It's good
getting
for your
up
body.
off the floor is really important.
Well,
making sure
right.
you can.
Correct.
Once you get down there, that you can get up.
I just mean even the muscles you use.
I agree.
Removing yourself from the floor.
Sometimes it feels like when you're laying on the floor, like on your back, it just feels like it almost feels like there's a magnet just pulling your body down into the floor, right? You feel so good with that.
I know I feel better.
The hard versus a mattress, which is, Anyway, here's another older story. An 83-year-old woman in California was attacked by what? We just went through the list and it wasn't mosquitoes.
A scorpion.
It was not a scorpion. She was attacked by wild turkeys. Here's Mary Jo Kelly talking about this ambush that occurred while she was just walking along the road. Here we go.
It happened, and it was very real. I went head first, and I broke my glasses. I hit my palm of my hand, my thumb, bled in the nose. They're ignoring the problem, basically. Pretty scary, shell-shocked, a little afraid to go too far.
I wonder if Gentile has played a role in making this decision. He is on the national board of Little League, right?
Correct.
And you being an umpire, I thought you might be interested in a baseball story.
Yeah, I am.
All right, here we go.
I always am.
An 83-year-old woman in California was attacked by a youth. I already read that, didn't I?
You did.
It's too late, Davey. It's too late, man. A youth baseball coach in Oklahoma has been suspended for life.
Okay. Is this the story about throwing into the dugout?
Yep. After his son threw a pitch into the dugout on purpose towards an opposing team. Here's the moment, and we'll talk about it, how he threw the ball into the other team's dugout from the mound. Here's the moment. Here it is.
Oh, you kidding me? You people are nuts! Get him out of there!
You people are nuts. Get him out of there. Well, that was clear as day.
Yeah. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, that's appropriate.
The father was banned for life. He was the coach.
I'm okay with that. I agree with it. As a matter of fact, as the story goes, the batter who was in the box, the father coach allegedly yelled to his son pitcher to throw at the kid's head. And I don't know if the kid shook it off or said, no, I don't want to do that. And then he told him to throw into the dugout. And I saw a report that it was a 70-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't know at that level, at that age, if he's throwing 70 miles an hour. But it's certainly malicious intent.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. Yeah.
Theoretically, you could get charged.
It's like a weapon.
It's like a weapon, yeah.
And one more. Today is June.
One thought, though. Here's the thought that stuck with me, and it continues to stick with me. How did the umpire not hear all this and stop the game or throw the coach out or forfeit the game on behalf of the other team? I don't know. Apparently all this is going on, and the umpire's just going, that was a bit outside.
That was way outside.
Runner on second.
We have to take a break, and we have news coming up here in just a moment, top of the hour at 7 a.m.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Just sit back and relax. It'll all work out well. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is President Trump's message on Iran early this morning in a Truth Social post, writing Iran really wants to make a deal, and it will be a good one for the U.S., but with no agreement yet. The U.S. and Iran attacked each other again over the weekend.
CENTCOM says U.S. forces conducted strikes against multiple Iranian targets over the weekend. The strikes hit Iranian radar systems and command and control centers for drones in Gulrukh, Iran, along the coast and on Keshem Island. CENTCOM described the action as defensive in nature to prevent Iran from attacking international shipping lanes and after Iran shot down a $4 million U.S. drone. The Iranians responded by targeting Kuwait with drones and missiles early this morning.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. One thing Iran wants in a deal with the U.S. is for Israel to stop attacking Hezbollah militants in Lebanon.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was vowing to expand his country's grip on Lebanon after the IDF captured a historic and strategic castle in southern Lebanon. It marks Israel's deepest incursion into Lebanon in 26 years. The move comes as Israel and Hezbollah continue to trade strikes.
That's Fox's Marianne Rafferty. The suspected gunman in a Friday night attack on sheriff's deputies in Virginia has been arrested after a two-day manhunt. Michael Puckett found in North Carolina. He's facing a murder charge because one of those deputies died. The anti-ICE protests rage on outside an immigration detention facility in New Jersey, despite a curfew put in place last night in Newark.
So that's just some of what we saw last night, and it's at least
maybe 24 arrests and counting. Authorities used tear gas to clear the crowd, while DHS tells Fox there's zero tolerance for rioters here. And they finally have that extra assistance. They kept calling for the Newark police, the state police. Well, now they finally have some backup.
Fox's Alexis McAdams. The protesters angry over allegations of inhumane conditions at the facility. America's listening to Fox News.
We're living through a monetary crime scene, and your IRA or 401k is a key victim. Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. In 1971, gold was $35 an ounce. After the dollar was cut loose from it, inflation soared. And in just 9 years, gold hit $850. People who diversified into precious metals survived and thrived. Today, we're in a worse position because we face inflation and massive debt. Fortunately, gold is still an option. My trusted friends at Birch Gold Group can help you own gold inside your retirement account. Plus, you pay 0 penalties on the transfer. Start now by getting a free info kit on gold. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. We're facing the same monetary chaos as the 70s with significantly more debt. Get your free info kit from Birch Gold. Just text SHELTER to the number 989898.
With no deal in place with Iran, oil prices are rising more than 3% this morning. But Kevin Hassett, the director of the National Economic Council, tells Fox News Sunday things are getting better.
We have ongoing negotiations. There are already a lot more ships getting through the straits than we're getting through before. And the boats go about 300 nautical miles per day. And so when you leave the straits, then you can get to Pakistan almost right away. You can get to India almost right away.
Hassett also says once the conflict ends, prices will drop. Gas is down a penny this morning. It's fallen nearly a quarter since the spike up in the conflict peaked last month. AAA's national average for regular at $4.32 per gallon. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising after the Dow and the Nasdaq closed at record highs Friday. The Atlantic hurricane season starts today. Fox Weather's Ian Oliver's in Miami.
Florida took one off last year. What a big deal that was, coming off of 2024. Helene and Milton, back-to-back majors over on the Gulf side. 2025, actually the first season in a decade where we did not have a hurricane strike the American coastlines.
Government forecasters are predicting a below-average season, 8 to 14 named storms. The World Cup starts a week from Thursday with the opening matches in Mexico, and the American team played an exhibition to get ready.
The U.S. men's national team put 2 lopsided losses in March behind them on Sunday in Charlotte.
We're continuing to run down the right side. Options in the middle. Balogun is one of them. It's Balogun!
Courtesy TNT Sports, substitute Fowler and Balogun notched the go-ahead goal in a 3-2 win over Senegal. Christian Pulisic had a goal and an assist in the first 20 minutes to set the tone. Up next, the stiffer challenge next Saturday against Germany in Chicago before the U.S. opens the World Cup in L.A. against Paraguay on June 12th. I'm Tim McMaster, Fox News.
On the NASCAR track, Denny Hamlin drove away the winner in Nashville last night. He's second in the NASCAR Cup standings behind Tyler Reddick. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Some sunshine, 45 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:05. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Rome police seeking the public's help in locating a missing man. 50-year-old Patrick Iannati of Rome was last seen on Saturday, May 23rd. He's described as a white male approximately 5 feet 7 inches tall, 240 pounds, with white hair, brown eyes, and is also known to have facial hair. Rome police say if anyone has information on his whereabouts, they can contact Rome PD or the Oneida County Dispatch Center. A lieutenant from the Otsego County Sheriff's Office is facing drug charges after state police conducted a traffic stop in Herkimer County. State police say they stopped 35-year-old Lieutenant Thomas Fallrath of Hartwick on Friday on the thruway in Herkimer County. State police say he was on duty and in an unmarked patrol vehicle. Troopers found Fellrath was in possession of 10 grams of cocaine. He's been charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance, defrauding the government, and official misconduct. It is the final week of session for the State Assembly and Senate. With the budget finally passed, lawmakers will be at the Capitol today to begin their final week of the session. Among the items expected to be debated before it ends on Thursday include reviewing ticket scalping laws and brand new rules for pricing goods. Last year, over 900 bills were passed by the Assembly and Senate during the final week of session. So far this year, more than 1,000 pieces of legislation have moved through both chambers. Onondaga County is suspending a portion of its gas tax. A gas tax cap is in effect. Effective today, it's expected to remain in place through September 1st, unless it ends up getting extended. The county is limiting its 4% sales tax to the first $4 per gallon of fuel. That means the county part of the tax will be capped at 16 cents per gallon, even as gas prices rise. And Belmont Stakes Week is officially kicking off today with the post-position draw for this weekend's big race. It's taking place this evening at Universal Preservation Hall in Saratoga Springs. The draw will determine the starting gate position for the horses competing in Saturday's Belmont Stakes, which is being held for the final time at Saratoga Racecourse. Anyone who wants to watch the draw live can do so on NYRA's YouTube page. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:08. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Real nice looking Monday morning. Clear sky around. Sunshine will mix with just a few clouds today. There could be a passing shower. Really no significant rainfall and pretty comfy 72. Tonight clear, still the cool side, 45. North Country will get a little bit cooler. Might see some 30s. Tuesday, sunshine, slightly milder, 75. Wednesday looks great. Lots of sunshine, near 80 and low 80s for the rest of the week. I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, sunshine, 45 degrees at 7:09. All right, in sports, championships getting underway in both the NBA and the NHL. The Spurs and Knicks will face off in the NBA Finals. Game 1 is in San Antonio on Wednesday. Wemby and the Spurs taking on Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. The Knicks have not won a title since 1973. Meanwhile, the Stanley Cup Finals get underway this week as well. They open tomorrow in North Carolina. The Carolina Hurricanes hosting the Vegas Golden Knights in Raleigh. The Canes beat the Canadiens in 5 games to capture the East final, the East title, I should say. Out west, the Golden Knights eliminated the Colorado Avalanche. Former NHL star Claude Lemieux's brain will be donated for research on the long-term effects of repetitive brain injuries. That's according to his family, who released a statement saying that his brain will be sent to Boston University's CTE Center. The family said it gave the center permission to publicly share any findings with Lemieux's name. The NHL Alumni Association announced his passing on Thursday. Authorities later said he died by suicide. Lemieux played 21 seasons in the NHL. He won 4 Stanley Cup titles with the Canadiens, the Devils, and the Colorado Avalanche. Over the weekend, a good weekend for both the Mets and Yankees. The Mets sweep the Marlins, a final 10-1 on Sunday. Juan Soto had a grand slam. A couple of other Mets, including Marcus Semien and Benj. He went deep as well, that being Carson Benj. The Mets have won 4 straight. They now open up a series in Seattle against the Mariners. That starts tonight. The Yankees scored 13 times in 1 inning. A 13-run third led the way to a 13-8 victory over the A's in Sacramento. The Yankees have won 6 of 7. They're off tonight. They return home to open a series against the Cleveland Guardians starting tomorrow in the Bronx.
You know what today is?
It's Monday, June 1st.
It is June 1st. And you know, every June 1st, we always look back at the television anchors who are so shocked at the fact that today, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Today, I can't believe it's already June 1st. I don't know. I feel like this year, everything is crept at a snail's pace. But not according to TV anchors out there. Really shocked that today is June 1st.
It is June 1st.
Cannot believe it, can you?
Can you believe it? It's June 1st already. Hard to believe it's June already, right? Hard to believe June 1st is already here.
Hard to believe today is June 1st.
I can't believe it's already June.
Can you believe it's June 1st already?
It's hard to believe it's June 1st.
Hard to believe it's June 1st. I can't believe it's June. I know, June 1st.
I cannot believe it's June 1st.
Cannot believe that it's already June 1st.
Hard to believe it's June already.
It's June.
It is June.
Can you believe it's June already?
No. It's unbelievable. Can you believe it that we were in June?
May went by quickly. It really
Holy
did.
cow.
May went by slowly. I don't know what these people. I mean, remember you had Memorial Day falling a week before the end of the month. It just felt like this month went forever slow. That's my take.
And the weather certainly didn't help. Just one more thing in sports I want to mention. I want to wish good luck to Utica Notre Dame. Well, of course, Notre Dame. They'll play Bishop Ludden for the Section 3 Class B final today. West Canada Valley playing in the C final against Beaver River. And then New Hartford plays in the Class A bracket. Those are 3 of the 4 teams who are still alive in baseball. I believe New Hartford girls won a section title over the weekend in softball.
How about that? They were down to mighty Chittenango, ended up winning 12-11.
And congratulations to them for that. And Oriskany will play tomorrow for a Class D title in Section 3. They are the defending state champions, and they are 18-0 this year.
I got to tell you.
Are you on the call of any of these games, Jeff?
No, sir.
I have to tell you, I received someone stopped me from New Hartford. Actually, stopped my wife, and she conveyed this to me. Said, "You make sure you tell Bill that we the softball team at New Hartford." And she said it was really interesting the last time New Hartford and Whitesboro played. Both sides were taken care of. One, Stefan Rubitsky. She said he just is a big fan. The girls all love him. The coaches love him. Everybody takes care of him. They've even given him a bus ride home. It's a shame that he has been going through all of this. It's just not fair. He's a good guy. Well, I say kid. He's not a kid anymore.
Right. And I'm with him. I'm with that.
Yeah.
Right.
I am too. And then Mike this morning says, isn't Constantino a boxer? Perhaps he can be in the Boxing Hall of Fame parade.
Okay, so this is a controversy.
Well, I got to tell you, there's a photo on his website. If you look, it's showing him after a fight as like a welterweight or something.
Okay, so the next time he's on, we have to question him on this because my understanding, I didn't know about this, but somebody explained it to me that it's not that uncommon as a flex. Someone can go down to, let's say, Mexico or somewhere in South America,
all right,
and essentially you can pay for a boxing license. You can pay for a fighter to take a fall.
Really?
I mean,
do you think he did that?
He's never fought in the States.
I have no idea. All I know is there's a picture on his website.
We have to ask him about this.
Yeah.
But
you know who
what
we
is
should ask?
He's 3-0 and he's a boxing champion, yet he's retired now.
You know who we should ask is.
Does that make sense?
Is Smullen. I wonder what Smullen knows. He might know something.
That doesn't make sense. To me.
On the line right now is Ann in Rome. Hello, Ann. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, my hot mess did it again. I'm going to go back a little bit.
Are you talking about
anybody remember?
Local, right?
Are you talking about the governor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hot mess. She went and crucified the Syracuse Police Department when a little 8-year-old boy and his brothers were taking things from stores. It was so bad she had it on Inside Edition. Crucified them. 3:00 in the morning when I was watching Syracuse News, everything she said was wrong. The cops went above and beyond, and that nice little boy went out that night and robbed a bike from another child.
Did this just recently happen? Is this all new?
No. This was a while ago because you and I had words on this. But anyway,
sure.
The reason I'm saying this
for the record, I don't know the story. I do not defend Hochul by any means, but nonetheless, just telling you. Yeah.
Well, right. And
I think we talked about
came out and apologized.
If I recall, we talked about what punishment should an 8-year-old have.
Right.
I like I got to tell you, I like the going after the parents.
Oh, absolutely.
I like that.
I like when they used to have it's 9:00 at night. Do you know where your children are?
Yes.
Yeah, they're out in the street.
That's right.
Anyway, the reason I'm saying this is, again, she comes out. No masks for any law enforcement, including ICE in New York State. So when a guy comes up or a woman comes up to an ICE agent or anybody in law enforcement, I know who you are, threatening their families, threatening to kill them. I actually called her office, told her she was disgraceful. You have protesters covering their faces. We can't see who they are, so they could be brought up on charges for actually threatening law enforcement of any kind.
Listen, I absolutely support law enforcement, but I disagree with you on this. Our law enforcement, lives up to a higher standard than the criminals. I'm sorry. And I don't agree with this argument. But anyway, I do agree that she should keep her mouth shut when she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Well, I don't think that it's fair that they could cover their faces and yet they can threaten. I mean, enough's enough with cops getting killed, COs, and I'm not defending what happened locally, but how many times did the COs come on your show complaining that they were complaining to her about conditions they're working in? She did
listen,
nothing.
we've covered all of this stuff, and what those COs did was horrible. And I don't care what the criminals did and why they were in there. It is horrible, and it cannot be. They're in our possession. So I was the first person, if you recall, Ann, to come out and say I think a lot of this is precipitated by Albany and we'll talk to Brian Miller about this, and these laws that they have no idea they're passing these laws about law enforcement and correction systems, and they're making it more dangerous. They're taking away the CO's ability to be able to punish someone, taking away all the fear for the inmates who are in there. They're causing this. I feel like their laws are causing this problem. However, there is no excuse for what happened to those people.
And I agree with you there. But to come out, why don't these protesters have to uncover their faces? Okay. And why are they allowed?
Well, they do. Once they're taken to the ground and there's a gun to their head.
They don't.
The ICE agent takes the mask off them. So if there's a mask on them, I'm sorry, we don't agree on this.
They can't wear them. Nobody wears them. We need to start protecting our law enforcement.
But then there'd be no reason for ICE or police if everyone just follows the law.
Sorry, I disagree also.
I mean, come on, Ann. I mean, I'm with you on most stuff, but not on this. I'm with you on you.
When you go undercover, these poor guys are getting their pictures taken. They're threatening their families. Enough's enough. She does not care about law enforcement. And she could keep her $100 in December. Ironically enough, the energy money's coming out after the election. She can't afford my vote. Okay?
All right. Well, I would never in a million years think that she would be getting it, just for the record.
Oh.
So.
And go Smallin.
All right. He's on later on today. Guys. Yes. Thank you, Ann. All right.
Bye.
And let me make it clear. I'm not defending Kathy Hochul, but, some of the stuff in there I just can't agree with. Before we go to Brian Miller, I do want to bring this. I found this really awesome. And it's what Ann was talking about until she talked about many other things. Do you remember what it was like, the majestic era of... Are you ready? The 1970s.
Era, before Wi-Fi, helicopter parenting, or the concept of basic safety regulations. If you're watching this on a $1,200 rectangle of glass while sipping an oat milk latte, brace yourself. I'm about to explain how an entire generation survived childhood relying solely on tap water and profound parental neglect. Let's talk transit. Long before apps and e-scooters, we had the big wheel. It was 100% hard plastic, sounded like a blender full of rocks, and we rode them until the front tire literally wore through. When you outgrew that, you graduated to a heavy metal bicycle with a banana seat. Helmets? Please. Our safety protocol was pretending we were Evel Knievel and hoping the pavement was forgiving. Our toys weren't educational or ergonomic, they were tetanus hazards. We played with Tonka trucks forged from actual heavy-duty steel and SST cars that launched off ramps like projectiles. If you didn't draw blood at least once by lunchtime, you simply weren't playing hard enough. And the supervision? Absolutely non-existent. The standard parental operating procedure was to shove you out the screen door at 8 a.m. and lock it behind you. The only tracking device they used was the sun. The golden rule? Don't come back until the streetlights come on. We built forts, explored the woods, and enjoyed the terrifying, exhilarating freedom of knowing our parents had absolutely no clue where we were. When you got thirsty, you didn't go inside for an artisanal hydration pouch. You drank from the garden hose. It was lukewarm, tasted heavily of rubber and neighborhood algae, and it was glorious. Eventually, the streetlights flickered on, signaling the end of your freedom. You went inside to watch one of the 3 available TV channels, serving as the unpaid human remote control for your dad. The 1970s. We didn't have a million entertainment options force-fed to us on tiny screens. We had Saturday morning cartoons, block parties, and a daily unspoken struggle for survival. We might not have had the internet, but at least we had sick bikes.
There you go. That was the 1970s. That's Brian Miller. I think you can identify. It's how we grew up.
How true it is.
Right.
And then at midnight or whatever, after Johnny Carson, the TV would go off.
And
You'd have
then
the national anthem, and that'd be it.
You'd wake up patriotically to the national anthem again in the morning.
Yes, you would.
So there you go. That. I got to say, I could actually hear Ann from Rome voicing that. We could get her to voice it.
Yeah, I could too.
Might actually be a better voiceover for that whole thing.
Actually, I think Ann would do better with that.
I think she would. Davey, do I need to break her? You're saying yes. Brian, do you mind hanging on? Listen, the budget is done now.
Budget's done.
We'll talk about that budget. And as Ann calls her, Miss Hot Mess.
Governor Hot Mess.
Governor Hot Mess coming right up here.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the 3rd straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You love yard sales, but let's be real. You could spend all weekend driving around and still miss out on amazing finds. Over 100 vendors all in one place. Find antiques, furniture, household items, tools, brand new clothing, kids' clothes, toys, collectibles, hidden gems, and so much more. No driving all over town. Park once, shop, save, and treasure hunt all day long. The world's largest yard sale at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 20th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sponsored by the Potting Shed Antiques, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and James Mitsubishi.
It's finally happening. The Fed is making a change in leadership, and that could have a profound impact on the value of your retirement. When interest rates go down, the value of precious metals like gold and silver can surge. Call Advantage Gold right now at 800-900-8000 and get your free Gold and Silver Investor Guide, a $49 value plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's insightful book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Inside, you'll get honest information about gold, silver, and other precious metals, so you can explore your options with clarity and confidence. Our specialists can help you open a new account or transfer funds from an existing IRA, tax and penalty-free. Markets can turn fast, but gold has maintained its value through every cycle, often holding strong when other assets falter and when the dollar weakens. Are you positioned? Don't miss this opportunity. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. Results may vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Get a smile for every season at Rosansky Family Dentistry. For crowns to veneers, we'll keep you smiling all year long. We're also excited to welcome Dr. Kutaria to our team. With her arrival, we now offer Friday appointments from 8 a.m. to noon, giving you more flexibility for the care you need. Call us today at 315-732-1981 to schedule your visit. That's Rosansky Family Dentistry, 1 Paris Road in New Hartford. Find us on Facebook or online at uticasmiles.com.
Memorial Day sale is on at Mattress Express. Get up to a $1,000 prepaid gas card on select new King and Queen mattress sets. Take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers. A $500 gas card on massage chairs. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, in the studio, a couple things to tell you. John Zogby coming up in a few minutes. We'll do his free money question of the day. Boxing Hall of Famer Christy Martin. They made the movie about her with Sweeney. She's on later on this morning. And Robert Smullen, NY21. Of course, he's running for NY21, the congressional seat currently held by Elise Stefanik. And quite a race that's going on there. In studio right now is Assemblyman Brian Miller. Brian, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone.
All right, listen, the quoting in this morning, Governor Hot Mess's budget is done.
Governor Hot Mess's budget is done, 57 days late.
Yeah.
$14 billion more than the executive budget. There's some good things in it. There's some bad things in it, and it's been a long process. Session is coming to an end this week, and it's just gonna mixed everything up.
Which is early this week. Early, isn't it? Normally it's a few weeks later.
Yeah, normally it's a week later, but there's primaries coming up, and there's a lot of primaries for a lot of the members.
Yeah, I think probably a good time to. And by the way, Democrats who
it's a good time to end. Let me tell you, because
to get out.
Let's think about this. The budget being 57 days late really did some good for us.
Mm-hmm.
It stopped a lot of bad legislation coming forward. So now we're down to the last week. They're going to have to pick and choose.
There's only so much they can do in a week is what you're saying.
That's right. But there's a lot of time in the week, too, so we can go around the clock a few days. But, there's some legislation out there that I'm a little concerned about is the redistricting.
Yeah.
And if that pops up this week, that's going to be a huge mess.
So I have a feeling that until something is done nationally, we're just going to be back and forth redistricting as a regular thing now.
Well, the rules are set. You're supposed to do it, during census every 10 years.
Right.
And we should stay there. We shouldn't change them as we feel.
Yeah. What other things are concerning you?
Well, we got the concerning me is basically the redistricting is probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
I don't know what's coming forward, but there's we have our local bills are sitting up in the air right now. We don't know if they're going to land and where they're going to be. But some of the concerns we have is the money. Let's go back to the budget. There wasn't any more money in for the roads, and I drive 35,000 miles a year, and I see about every pothole there is. And the governor came out early spring. We're going to go out there and pave those potholes.
Yeah.
And I think she missed about
most of them.
200,000 of them.
Yeah.
And she didn't fund that way. The CHIPS money's down. Well, it's not down. There's a $25 million additional money for our local roads, but there's no more. There's no money in Bridge New York, pave our potholes, things like that. But there was some wins. The CLCPA got pushed back time-wise. It didn't do anything for us for utility rate relief, but hopefully we got our foot in the door. I consider that a win. So we have that.
Can you explain this?
Well, the CLCPA is the Climate Action Plan was passed in 2019, which we've seen all the bad effects of it with electric school buses for schools, which has been pushed back 5 years.
Yeah.
And
and 5 years is not enough.
Carbon taxes, and they've eliminated. We've taken nuclear plant offline, and it's making utility rates go crazy. And there's just unreal timelines there.
So when you say foot in the door, just the rolling that back 5 years?
Rolling it back 5 years is a great start. We finally got them to move. So, it's not a complete win. There really isn't any rate relief, but it's opened the door for more negotiations moving forward. That's what I believe. I think that's a win. Some of the legislators here, don't consider that a huge victory, but I'm going to be optimistic about it and, look at it that way.
Yeah. What about the auto insurance? We paid $2,000 more in auto insurance.
Yeah, we do. I don't know if there's
anybody else
anything
in the
here
country.
in this legislation that's really going to do anything for us.
And that was a big fight. That there was a holdup, it seems, but over these scams where fake accidents and literally
all the fraud that's happening.
And literally they're getting immigrants to have surgeries that they don't need. Doctors who aren't really good doctors are performing the surgeries, and then they're bilking the insurance system.
Well, the sad part about that, the people who really have an issue,
right? They've had an accident and they really need help.
Are the ones that are probably going to pay the most for it. But true legislation to help us. Hopefully, it's going to work. I don't believe so.
Bail reform.
As a matter of fact, Marianne said last week there was a lot of back and forth and arguing and debating over it, but she said you still can't show me if we pass this
where the rates
go down $50 a month or $10 a month or even $1 a month. So.
Bail reform, nothing there for bail reform. Help with the HALT Act, nothing there for the HALT Act. The death benefit for the COs, there was some help there. Tier 6, I believe that was a win for the workforce out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's been highly contested over the last few years. Teacher shortages and work shortages throughout the workforce there. It should help with recruitment and retention.
Speaking of schools, a lot of school districts are saying they're either in trouble or will be in trouble next year financially.
Oh, absolutely. We've known this financial cliff is on the way, and it's been talked about 2027 was the year it's going to hit.
Yeah.
We're almost there. Let's see what happens. But, it was a long budget process.
Yeah.
Our budget committees weren't really utilized as they have been in the past. It's 2 women and a man in the room. Let's go. It's probably been the quietest budget negotiations that we've had. The majority members didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Is this they have the majority in the Senate and in the Assembly? Yet we were 57 days late.
57 days late, and it's been 5 years since this budget. Since this governor's been here.
And not to mention, there was such a lack of reporting on the budget. What was going on? What were the negotiations? I mean, I would Google it every morning. What's the latest on the state budget? And you would just see, they've got some issues they're still hashing out, and among the items still needing to be, all this vague crap.
No one was furious over the fact that it was late.
Oh, absolutely not. The public wasn't furious. I stop at the gas station every morning and get gas, and people say, is the budget done? What we're concerned about. Doesn't really matter because we kept on passing 14 extenders along the way that just kept business moving.
Yeah.
You want some, Lance?
Sure.
Please ask him about his useless headlight study that he wanted. Must be he finally figured out that the NYSB governs. Hold on, Lance, you can't send me 4 messages at a time because I can't read them all at once. Essentially, you had suggested that the state or maybe like the SUNY system do a study on headlights, LED headlights and the impact. Lance says he actually likes them. He says it makes nighttime driving much easier.
Absolutely.
The problem is on the other side. If you're driving and these lights are coming at you,
maybe
it's
Lance,
like high beams in your face.
Maybe Lance drives at a time when nobody else is on the road.
Yeah, probably.
And he's the only one there. You can see 3.5 miles ahead of you. But the Beams Act is a good piece of legislation that has come up in the Transportation Committee. It has been put on hold this year in the committee, but the committee chair is willing to look at it, and I really believe truly that there is an issue here, and it is a national issue, not only here in New York State, and there is a Congress person in Washington State, I believe, that's carrying it in Congress.
Nationally.
So, we've had a lot of emails from across the country, and in some places and in other countries on this situation. It truly is an issue here.
Yeah. I hate to say, but it is one of those things where if you have those lights, the brighter the better. You're loving it. The problem is, what are the people on the other side going through? And that is...
Well, that's what it's for. It's not for the driver. It's for the oncoming traffic and pedestrians.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at it. We got a good bill here. We can put it through SUNY and CUNY, have them do the research on it. Good graduate projects.
Yeah.
If there is an issue, it's there. And Lance, if you're right, it's not an issue. It's there too.
Okay. Enough from Lance?
Well, let's see. He followed up here to say, when won't the Tier 6 costs just be passed on to local and county governments?
Well, that's one of the biggest things that we're worried about with the Tier 6 issues. I wish it was the costs were all taken care of here at the state level. It looks like it's going to be pushed down to the local governments, but it needed to be addressed, and we addressed it.
Stephen asking on YouTube, how much money went to New York City's illegal immigrants and Mandami's New York City deficit?
The exact figure, Steve, I can't give you, but the city's got more aid and more aid than our smaller cities did here across the upstate region.
Yeah.
So there has been more downstate New York City aid.
All right, so we're close to this is the final week. So here's where you sometimes get these bills that are introduced, oftentimes out of the assembly in the boroughs, where it's some crazy thing. You're like, there's no way that's going to pass, and it gets close. It is an important week.
Well, what happens here is these crazy bills. It's like the plane circling a airport, waiting to land, and they're just up there. They're up there. They're up there, and then we find some of the members who are retiring. Their bills that could be crazy just appear, and down they come. So we call this week. We call it the lightning round. We'll be voting on 500-600 bills in the next 4 days.
Okay.
Rocky says, you say our rates, this is on the insurance question, you say our rates are $2,000 over other states. I pay a total of $1,100 per year for full coverage on a BMW. With that formula, my insurance company would pay me $900 a year if I was an out-of-state resident.
That's what North Carolinians get, $900 a year. Here, please, take this to get your insurance.
Yeah, Rocky, if that's all you're paying a year, you have a great deal. But, I mean, everybody else feels this, right?
A little tip that I learned in the last 2 weeks, Progressive. Progressive has been here for quite some time, but apparently they've lost a share in the market. And it seems, according to an expert that I spoke with, it seems that they're trying to regain their share. You try it yourself. You're paying what you're paying right now for insurance. Call up Progressive today and say, here's what I'm paying. What can you do for me? I know of a scenario where someone was quoted $1,000 every 6 months, and they got $400 every 6 months, but only from Progressive. Everybody else was up in that higher range, but Progressive right now is offering these crazy low rates. Check it out.
Well,
I saw it with my own eyes.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Geico State Farm.
I'm just telling you.
What else?
Listen, for us, it was Forgo, the Forgo agency. I like going with an agency like Forgo because they will go and hunt down the best prices for you and the best value. They aren't stuck to one insurance company. That's why I like them.
Nationwide is on your side.
Okay. Anything else, Brian?
That's it.
All right.
1st of June.
Here we are. I can't believe it's already the 1st of June. Can you believe it? Crazy. I feel like May went on forever. Okay. This is the last week. We'll see what comes of it. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, guys.
Assemblyman Brian Miller. Coming up, Davey, I want to skip news. We'll do Micah's free money question of the day. You're looking for caller number. It's worth $150. Plus, I have boxing tickets and more. Looking for caller number 4 right now. We'll do it next. 315-736-0186 at WIBX.
for a lasting impression, trust the quality and craftsmanship of Humphrey Memorials. They're experienced in all facets of memorial design, sales of monuments and mausoleums, on-site cemetery lettering, cleaning and restoration, and specialty services like etched glassware, mirrors, and landscape products. Humphrey Memorials of Herkimer has been making a lasting impression in central New York since 1946. They also handle commercial construction projects as well. Find out more at humphreymemorials.com or call 866-4471.
There's never been a better time to buy the commercial mower that has your back, Ferris. For a limited time, your Ferris dealer, Clinton Tractor, has the best financing offers of the year. Choose the offer that works best for you, 36 or 60 months. There are even options to skip payments when work is slow. It's never been easier to buy a Ferris. So visit Clinton Tractor today on Meadow Street in Clinton. Ferris, experience suspension, all loans subject to credit approval.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors, available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
The Memorial Day sale is on at Mattress Express, upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Remember, no one has all the brands under one roof, and we're giving away prepaid gas cards with select king and queen sets up to $1,000. Hurry!
Hurt in a car? Call William Matar. 315-444-4444.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, here we go with Hobica's free money question of the day, and it is worth $155 plus some stuff. And it's brought to you by the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, at 315-724-1600. On the line right now is Mike in Schuyler. Hello, Michael. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, man?
How are you?
Good. Yes, I know. The Yankees scored 13 runs on 11 hits in one inning. I know. Wow.
I couldn't believe that.
I can't either.
Especially after the start. They were down 3-0 in the first inning, and then all of a sudden that
boom.
happened.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
All right. Now, for Fight Night at the Turning Stone, June 12th, 6 p.m., you have to pick, is it the number 100, the number 200, or the number 300 that comes up on our little electronic wheel?
200.
200. We're looking for 200. This is Fight Night at the Turning Stone, June 12th at 6 p.m. Looking for 200. Spin the wheel. See where we stop.
$300.
All right, it's $300. Unfortunately, you don't get it. You don't get it. That would have also increased your jackpot this morning to $300. Because you get it wrong, we stay at $155. I think is what Davey said. All right. Okay, are you ready? Here's your question. You'll have 7 seconds to answer. Here it is.
Okay.
Name the state legislature in America that is volunteer and their members don't get paid. Which state? Ready, go.
They don't get paid. Washington, D.C.
Washington State we would go with. The answer is New Mexico.
Really?
In New Mexico, assembly members, or whatever they call them, and Senate members in New Mexico, they do not get paid. They work regular jobs. They have to round everybody up to actually do a vote. Nobody gets paid. It's a complete volunteer legislature.
Are they elected, though?
They are elected. I believe they're elected. Very much like a school board member. But school board members don't get paid. So there it is.
Hey,
State of New Mexico.
Know that.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a,
okay. Yeah.
I was going to say I got actually a good one for you. I got a free money question for you. I thought about.
Okay, quickly.
All right, how much are we playing for today?
Okay, I'll be quick. All right, so
how much are we playing for? That's the question.
Oh well, I mean, just for fun. It's for fun.
I don't know. I think we should. I think
It's a good one, though.
I really think you should pay us. Okay, go ahead. What is it?
Okay, so in baseball, you know, they retire baseball players' numbers sometimes.
Yes, yeah.
And there's few people that they actually retire two, like Reggie Jackson. He's one of them, where they actually retired him for two teams. Okay, he got 7 seconds. There's only two people that they retired their number for three teams. Can you name the two people? You got 7 seconds. Go. Two people.
I'm going to say one of them is Ricky Henderson, and
I think it includes the Mets and the Yankees. They played for the Mets. They played for the Yankees, and
is Roger Clemens one of them?
No, you got the buzzer. The 7 seconds is up.
The buzzer went up.
No, this is a good one to keep for the future, right? No, the two people. Ready for this? Frank Robinson.
Okay.
And Nolan Ryan. Those are the only two. Those are the only two that they retired. Three different teams. And what's ironic about Ryan? So the three teams with Nolan Ryan, the Rangers, the Angels, and the Astros, right? He has one World Series ring. And who was that with, Bill?
That's the New York Mets.
The Mets, and he doesn't retire there. Yeah. And he played in the World Series.
He was drafted by the Mets, and probably one of their worst moves to get rid of Nolan Ryan. So, but could he have survived
watching the game?
The horrible teams of the New York Mets during the 70s? I don't know. All right, stand by, Mike. Davey's going to hook you up. Okay. And you'll also get movie tickets, Glenwood Movieplex, Rome Cinema 8. Stand by. Davey will take care of you. On the line right now is John Zogby from Zogby Strategies. And John, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
So, all right. Do you have, I know there was a debate the other night. Do you have any opinion on the Republican primary for the 21st congressional race between Constantino and Smullen? Did you see any of that, and have you done any polling on that?
I did not see it. I do not have any polling on it. My sense is that it's competitive. You have that classic establishment figure in Smullen, Constantino running as a MAGA candidate. Look, this is purely a hunch. But my gut tells me that the MAGA candidate probably will do very well.
Well, so far, Trump's record of endorsements in the primaries is pretty absolute.
Yeah. And for Smullen, this is a lot of new territory for him. So, his assembly position doesn't cover the broad swath of real estate.
Yeah.
So he's new up there.
All right.
That's not a prediction, incidentally.
Just a gut feeling. Iran, your thoughts on where we are right now? It's a stalemate, really. Do you see a way out of this?
Not a good way out of it. And pretty much like everybody else, I'm confused because we're following the same pattern of about every Thursday or Friday we're close to a deal. It's the best possible deal imaginable, and then you wake up Saturday morning or Sunday morning, and either bombing continues or there are elements of the deal that neither side will accept. That's kind of the holding pattern that we're in.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that it's in the president's interests, and certainly not in the U.S. interests, to be floating the possibility of the deal when it really doesn't appear that the two sides are close on anything.
You do see the stock market take usually takes a big push, explosion in a good way, and then we find out there's not a deal.
Right, and I could never speak for the stock market. Folks are taking profits. A lot of it is based on oil and the potential strengthening of the dollar, and so the stock market just seems to have a life of its own on the basis of potential or interpretation. And yet then it's dashed.
Your thoughts on Texas? The president making again going against the elders in the party, the establishment of the Republican Party, very much like what happened here, where he went against the chair people of the Republican Party around the district, and endorsed someone they did not want him to endorse. And what has that done for Texas?
Well, for starters, what it does for Trump is make him look invincible, within the Republican Party. And believe me, they did polling and determined that Paxton was kind of on the upswing anyway, and that the timing of the endorsement, was perfect in order to position him to win. Yeah, this is not the Republican Party of John Tower, the Bush family, or John Cornyn, for that matter. This is a MAGA party, and at the same time, now you have a fascinating dynamic going on within the Democratic Party. Texas has been a burgeoning blue state now for years and never quite makes it, but now you have an eclectic candidate in this fellow, Jim Tallarico. Is a seminarian, a very Christian, progressive in many ways, but Republican MAGA strategy is going to be to portray him as too woke for Texas. It's going to be the same social issues, what's taught in schools, bathrooms, transgender rights, and that sort of thing. Anybody's guess as to what's going to happen there.
And then nationally, what there seems to be a struggle nationally. I mean, we're clearly divided nationally, but as we go into these primaries, it's so hyper political. Your thoughts, and have you done any polling to support any of this?
Well, way too much money is being spent. When you see, the amount of money spent in Texas, the amount of money spent in the Massey district in Kentucky, and a lot of that is TV and a lot of that is social media, but a lot of it is TV and radio. And you're in the business. How much space can there be for sale? And B, at what point do you reach a diminishing returns? And I think we're at a point of diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Sure, people are going to absorb whether they're listening to it or not. For years, no, I don't pay any attention to TV ads, and they're humming the Crest jingle, when they're going down the toothpaste aisle. So it does get into, our psyches, but we're just at a point where the money being spent is to raise as many negatives to the opposition as possible. And no wonder why you have a lot of people who are just either turned off or hyperpolarized.
On the Democrat side, how much are they going to be able to take advantage of? I can imagine Democrats did not want to see Jill Biden coming out, bringing back the memories of Joe Biden, and then the statement that she made. What kind of damage there, if any? Your thoughts?
A lot, especially if she makes the move. She actually just said yesterday that he'd be invited to campaign. I can't imagine his being invited to campaign, and I know it's creating a lot of friction, not only in the upper echelons of the party, but also among the former members of the Biden team itself. The Democrats are in a strong position today. Take over the House. They're very competitive to take over the Senate, but they're not there yet. There still isn't that sense that they represent what people really are feeling, what people are really needing. And, their fear is that they're going to be boxed in the corner of being woke and elitist. Joe Biden at his peak was the antidote to that. the Uncle Joe. But, Joe Biden, I don't know that he's hurt himself permanently, but he's hurt himself for now. And he and Jill would be wise to stay away.
And then, of course, Democrats are quick to criticize or talk about the opportunity they have in Texas because of a flawed candidate. And then you look to Maine, and based on the Sunday programs, everybody seems to be backing this Graham Plattner, who is a giant weirdo, it looks like. And what's going on there, and what are your thoughts in Maine?
Well, I never thought I'd be answering these questions.
Sorry.
The Nazi tattoo, the sex thing.
I know.
The sort of thing that would, have put you on a raft somewhere down a raging river and long out of the race just doesn't hold anymore. For Democrats, he's our guy. Why? Because he's ahead by 9-10 points over Susan Collins, and it's a pickup. There's a primary, incidentally, tomorrow, and he's expected to mop up. We'll watch that primary to see if any support has been chiseled off. But in more reasonable times, he'd be giving a speech about why he's dropping out of the race, that he's going to enter the Betty Ford Clinic. It was a combination of the drugs and alcohol. But no, he's in and he could win it.
It seemed like you heard from Democrats the same thing you hear from Republicans. From Republicans, it's like, but what about Biden? What about Hunter Biden? And Democrats are like, but look at that guy in Texas. Look at what President Trump has done. I mean, that's where we are politically on a national level.
It's okay if it's my guy.
Yeah. It's really just crazy. All right, and then if you could, you guys, you and your son do a real polling in real time with Zogby, a weekly podcast.
Yes. Yeah, we do. You can pick the social media of choice, or go to our website every Friday, johnzogbystrategies.com, and click on podcast and subscribe. We're growing in subscribers, growing in viewers and listeners, and we certainly try to not be predictable.
All right. We appreciate it, John, as always. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Thanks so much, John Zogby. Cully, tell us who you have coming up. We're going to break first, but who you have coming up in here this morning.
Is my mic on? I have one of the best basketball trainers in the area here for you, Bill.
Ryan Drummond. Ryan, where are you from? VVS area?
Yes, I'm from VVS.
Really tight on the microphone. You are a professional development basketball trainer. In fact, you're going to be you got to be really, your lips have got to touch the mic.
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah. In fact, you're going to be working with the Syracuse basketball team this summer.
Yes, I am.
And what do you? We'll get into what you do and all of that coming up in just a second. As
he's gonna help you dunk, Bill.
That's right.
He gets to work with Carmelo Anthony's kid, Jerry McNamara. Come on,
that'll
Bill
be pretty.
Keeler.
Yeah. I'll be dunking when you're done.
Man, I don't know if I'm that good. Come on,
you're not. Yeah. you're not.
He's got jokes.
We'll speak with Ryan Drummond coming up in a few minutes. All right, and a nice day on the way, a beautiful week on the way. We'll have a full forecast along with news, which is coming up next at 8:00 on WIBX.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
He insists Iran really wants to make a deal. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and President Trump posted on Truth Social early this morning, it will be a good one for the U.S. As for when, the president wrote, just sit back and relax. It will all work out well.
Now, the demands from the U.S. side remain to be Iran has to agree to no nuclear weapon, but they also have to agree not to buy one. Any remaining materials have to be destroyed. The Strait of Hormuz has to open with no tolls. Sea mines, they also have to be removed, and the U.S. naval blockade has to be lifted.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House, but with no deal yet, fighting keeps flaring up. The U.S. military went on the attack Saturday and Sunday, with Central Command reporting it targeted Iranian drones and air defenses and a ground control station station. Iran has retaliated today, firing drones and missiles at Kuwait, where U.S. troops are stationed, but Kuwait intercepted them. And Fox's Trey Yingst reports from Tel Aviv.
We're also tracking developments in the conflict between Israel and Iran's largest proxy, Hezbollah. Over the weekend, Hezbollah launched more than 50 rockets into northern Israel as Israeli ground forces pushed deeper into southern Lebanon. This morning, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the IDF to strike the Lebanese capital of Beirut, specifically the Dahya neighborhood, a Hezbollah stronghold.
A two-day manhunt is over for the suspected gunman who shot two sheriff's deputies in Virginia on Friday. It ended last night with Michael Puckett's arrest in North Carolina.
Puckett is accused of opening fire on two Virginia deputies during a welfare check in Carroll County on Friday night and then fleeing the scene. Deputy Logan Ott died from his wounds.
That's Fox's Alex Hogan. Hurricane season started this morning in the Atlantic. Government forecasters predict a below-average season with 8 to 14 named storms.
Last year was also slightly below average, but a cautionary tale. We had 4 majors, 3 Category 5 monsters. Hurricane Melissa devastated Jamaica, killing close to 50 people there.
Fox Weather's Ian Oliver. None of the storms last year hit in the U.S. America's listening to Fox News.
We're living through a monetary crime scene, and your IRA or 401k is a key victim. Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. In 1971, gold was $35 an ounce. After the dollar was cut loose from it, inflation soared. And in just 9 years, gold hit $850. People who diversified into precious metals survived and thrived. Today, we're in a worse position because we face inflation and massive debt. Fortunately, gold is still an option. My trusted friends at Birch Gold Group can help you own gold inside your retirement account. Plus, you pay 0 penalties on the transfer. Start now by getting a free info kit on gold. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. We're facing the same monetary chaos as the 70s with significantly more debt. Get your free info kit from Birch Gold. Just text SHELTER to the number 989898.
While the U.S. and Iran remain in conflict, Russia and Ukraine remain at war, and Ukraine's president is asking for more American support.
Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, at the end of a 5-page letter to President Trump and Congress seeking more anti-ballistic missile defenses, urged the U.S. to remain engaged and keep standing with Ukraine. On CBS Face the Nation, Zelensky said envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner could be there very soon.
Yes, we count on their coming to Kiev. I hope that they will find a possibility to come during 2 weeks.
Zelensky said he does understand that timeline could be affected by any new negotiations in the Middle East that may arise. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Fans of the Commodores are in mourning. One of the group's co-founders has died. Ronald Laprede played bass on 3 Times the Lady in 1978, the Commodores' first #1 hit. He died suddenly over the weekend in New Zealand. Laprede was 75 years old. The Commodores have also made news. One of the bands that have pulled out of the Freedom 250 concert in Washington this month amid political controversy. President Trump posted on Truth Social, cancel it, calling those groups overpriced and boring. He wrote he wants to headline the event now as a pro-American rally. A legendary singer is exiting the stage.
92-year-old Frankie Valli canceling the remaining shows on the Four Seasons Farewell Tour. Valli posting Friday on social media that he's going to take the rest of the year off to focus on his health.
Fox's Paul Stevens. On Wall Street, rising stock futures may mean gains to start a new month, coming off a positive May that ended with the Dow and the NASDAQ at record high closings. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have sunshine, and we are up to 51 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Rome police looking for assistance locating a missing man. 50-year-old Patrick Iannotti of Rome was last seen last Saturday, May 23rd. He's described as a white male, about 5 feet 7 inches tall, 240 pounds, with white hair, brown eyes, and is known to have facial hair. If anyone has information on his whereabouts, You're asked to contact Rome Police or the Oneida County Dispatch Center. A lieutenant from the Otsego County Sheriff's Office faces drug charges after state police conducted an investigation and traffic stop in Herkimer County. State police say they stopped 35-year-old Lieutenant Thomas Fellrath of Hartwick on Friday on the thruway in Herkimer County. State police say he was on duty at the time in an unmarked patrol car. Troopers found Fellrath was in possession of 10 grams of cocaine. He now faces charges of criminal possession of a controlled substance, defrauding the government, and official misconduct. The sheriff in Otsego County says he's deeply disturbed and disappointed by the alleged criminal conduct. Upon his arrest, Officer Fellrath's employment with the sheriff's office was immediately terminated. The state budget is in the books. Now lawmakers head back to the Capitol today to begin the final week of this year's legislative session. Among the items expected to be debated before session ends Thursday include reviewing ticket scalping laws in the state and brand new rules for pricing goods. Last year, over 900 bills were passed by the Assembly and Senate in the final week of session. So far this year, more than 1,000 bills have moved through both chambers. And Onondaga County is suspending a portion of its gas tax. The gas tax cap went into effect today. It's expected to remain in place at least through September 1st. It could get extended. The county is limiting its 4% sales tax to the first $4 per gallon of fuel. That means the county part of the tax would be capped at 16 cents per gallon, even as or if gas prices continue to rise. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is coming up on 8:08. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Real nice looking Monday morning, clear sky around, sunshine will mix with just a few clouds today. There could be a passing shower. Really no significant rainfall and pretty comfy 72. Tonight clear, still on the cool side, 45. North Country will get a little bit cooler, might see some 30s. Tuesday sunshine, slightly milder, 75. Wednesday looks great, lots of sunshine, near 80 and low 80s for the rest of the week. I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, some sunshine, 51 degrees at 8:09. All right, in baseball, the Mets and Yankees both winning on Sunday. The Mets completed a 3-game sweep of the Marlins, 10-1 the final. Juan Soto had a grand slam. The Mets now head west to open up a series against the Mariners for a 3-game series that starts tonight. The Yankees posted 13 in the third as they beat the Sacramento A's. Is that what we're calling them now? The Sacramento A's? 13-8 was the final. The Yankees have won 6 of 7. They're off tonight. They'll head back home to open up a 3-game set against the Cleveland Guardians starting tomorrow. NBA Finals begin Wednesday. Knicks and Spurs in San Antonio. Wemby led the Spurs past the defending champion Thunder in 7 games to win out west. The Knicks have not won a title since 1973. The Stanley Cup Finals get underway this week as well. In fact, tomorrow the Carolina Hurricanes will host the Vegas Golden Knights for Game 1 in North Carolina. A couple other stories worth mentioning. Former NHL star Claude Lemieux, his brain will be donated to research into long-term effects of repetitive brain injuries. His family releasing a statement saying that the brain will be sent to Boston University's CTE Center. The family said it gave the center permission to publicly share any findings with Lemieux's name. The NHL Alumni Association announced Lemieux's passing on Thursday. Authorities later announced that he passed via suicide. Are you all right over there?
I was going to ask you, are his hand motions and everything else distracting?
I didn't know what was going on here.
Yeah, like there was a fire.
No, I was telling you that's what I have, and I worked
CTE?
and I worked with Chris Nowinski, who runs the foundation in Boston that studies the brains.
No kidding.
Yes.
You have CTE?
Yes.
100%?
Yes.
I thought it couldn't be diagnosed.
It can't be diagnosed in an alive human brain, but they can do tests to tell if you have it and what stage you have it at, to an extent.
Okay.
Did you take a lot of hits to the head?
Bill, come on.
I'm just asking.
I took 1,000 hits to the head.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I just want to mention as well, locally, congratulations to the New Hartford girls softball team. They won a Section 3 title on Friday.
Well, hello, girls.
So, quickly, I'll mention New Hartford plays today for a Section 3 title. They'll take on Cortland at, I believe they're at OCC at 7 o'clock. Notre Dame plays Bishop Ludden, Bishop Grimes. That's a merged team, possibly a merged district. They'll play at 4:30 in Syracuse today. West Canada Valley playing for the Class C Section 3 crown. They're actually playing at Murnane at 6 o'clock this evening, and they'll take on Beaver River. And then tomorrow, Oriskany, the defending state champion in Class D. They are 18-0. They'll play McGraw at 4:30, and that is also out in Syracuse.
I got to tell you, YouTube, the comments on YouTube, these people are just ruthless. Like, Stefan is like, where are they going to play? He's like, the New Hartford girls are going to
Canton?
Potsdam or Canton or something.
It's Canton,
If anyone's going, I could use a ride.
Oh, I'll pick them up.
And then Larry is like, hey, Stefan, if you go to the game, don't forget to cross the border and check out Canada. It's like,
please don't do that, Stefan.
These people are just
please don't
ruthless. Ruthless. And you can, if you subscribe on YouTube, and it's just YouTube, not YouTube TV, if you subscribe, you'll get a little notification every morning when we go live. It's very easy. You click on it, and boom, it's right there. And you'd be able to see, I don't know, Steve Cully, who's
Well, you took me off the
there.
camera when I first came in. I was very offended by that.
Well, it's because I had the camera on you, and we were talking to Brian Miller.
I'm a good-looking guy, and I want to be on camera.
Yeah. Listen, if you're looking for having a graduation party coming up, it's a Utica thing. Restaurant and bar catering can help. Your party is catered by It's a Utica thing. They come in with the best in Italian foods, pastas, salad, chicken riggies, greens, tomato pie, you name it, they have it, and it's so good. Pickup or delivery, taking orders through the graduation season. Call It's a Utica thing. They always take orders for catering, but especially for graduation, they're ready for you. It's a Utica thing, kitchen and bar for catering at 315-738-8946 or online, itsauiticathing.com. And I'll tell you, Steve Pani Mazda, that right now, the CX-50, you can pick up at 0.9% APR financing on the brand new 2026 with 1.9% on CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on new 2026 Mazda CX-70 and CX-90s, and 0 on the FEV models, and 2.9% on new 2026 Mazda CX-30s and CX-5s. See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. As they say, Rick says, let's make your deal where it's always easy to do business. Steve Pani Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Cully is in. Introduce your guy here.
Yeah, as I said, this is Ryan Drummond. I met his mother, friends with his mother. He is a professional development basketball trainer. He has worked with NBA players. He is going to be working with the Syracuse University basketball team, and he trains kids locally in groups and individual training. He's the best of the best, and anyone should work with him.
It's amazing how you landed this gig. Explain that, Ryan, because it's really out of high school. You were going to go to Cortland, play basketball at Cortland, and you ultimately got an opportunity in California.
Yes. So I played basketball my whole life. Always loved the game. Always been the leader of the game. After my high school career, I decided, maybe I wasn't going to play college basketball. I wasn't good enough. Kind of starting to lose love for the game. Had a few toxic relationships within high school basketball. Coaches, relationships. And luckily, I got into basketball training. I had started it right after high school basketball season had ended. I was like, let's pick up something else. I would like to stay with basketball. I've always been around it, always loved it, always been there for me. I happened to get in with a few players that made it, really enjoyable, and I made really good connections, which is the most important thing right now. Made a few good connections. I did a internship in Marietta, California, with Ryan Rizuki, who owns 3 gyms and runs his own 6-figure business.
He's the best pro basketball trainer.
Yeah. So that's he's one of them. And then I ended up getting in with Drew Hanlon, which is arguably definitely the best basketball trainer in the whole world. And he trains all the pros. Tyrese Maxey. Jason Tatum, and I was lucky enough to get in the gym with him and help him assist workouts and pick his brain and help me become a better trainer and gain love for this. And so I brought my business over here. So.
Yeah. You work with local kids. You train local group sessions. You're also going to be working with Syracuse basketball which really, I don't want you to say anything bad and I don't want you to lose a gig, but holy moly, they need some help.
They do, yes.
Yep. Yeah.
We're looking good this year, though. We got a few good transfers, so I'm excited to work with them.
And the coaching change, your thoughts on that?
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
A younger coach, he's educated on this days and age of basketball, so it's exciting.
And Ryan's already trained a kid who has gone Division I to Manhattan. So for doing it for a year to have a D1 kid on his resume, that's huge.
Who is that?
Jazar Green from Bishop Ludden.
Okay. Very cool. And I'm going to ask you,
I think this is incredible. Do you have any, well, first of all.
His website. He's got a website.
And by the way, all of this without college. You did not go to play college ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How can someone reach out to you? What's your website? Also, do you do any like free clinics for kids?
Yes, I do. I have a clinic I'm hoping to run in late June. You can find me at unscriptedacademy.com. My socials on Instagram and Facebook are unscripted.academy. I have all my information. I have a nice little website. You can book me there. I have testimonies about, clients. I'll have my camps on there. And I also do merch. I've been doing lately. I've been expanding out to making my own clothing line, which is awesome. I love it.
Oh, cool.
He's got his own business at 19. Bill, you remember me at 19. I couldn't tie my shoes.
I do remember that. Yeah.
It might still be true today, right?
I think it is.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you.
Sorry. Is it just fitness, or we're talking like they're doing, you're dribbling drills around cones and shooting styles?
Yeah.
Open the hand, rotation, stuff like that.
It's not strength and
it's
not strength training.
It's individual skills. So I'm a development coach. Not your normal
like strength trainer.
Yeah, I'm not your normal strength trainer, and I'm not your normal team player coach. I bring in either small groups or individual players, and what we'll do is we'll come through day one. We'll work out a game plan for the future with you. Depending on the client, everything's different. We'll go through studying your game, what you need to get better at. We'll go in super detail with it, and then from there, I build a custom and tailored workout plan to that client specifically. And, you stick with me, you stay consistent. We don't do cone drills. We make, we make workouts as realistic as we can.
Situational.
Right. We work on game IQ. We work on decision making, reactions, and timing. I also go into different, most of the trainers around here, it is cone drills. I'm different. I have live defender. Shout out to my assistant, Drew Baker. He plays basketball at St. Lawrence, so he comes and helps me as much as I can to make it realistic. And we'll go through instead of cone drills, we'll make it as realistic as we can. And we get better through that.
Yeah, I'm curious on the Syracuse, because listen, you're 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
okay, Bill.
Huh?
You're stuck on the 19 years old thing.
It's the first time I said 19.
You've said it 45 times.
I haven't said it at all. Your mic's off. Okay. I want to ask you, what is it? How did you get this? How do you work into the Syracuse program, for instance? Do you deal with McNamara? Does he say, here's what we need, or explain how that works?
So I'm not hired by anybody. So I work for myself. I'm not specifically with the whole team or anything. I'm really working with individual players.
And they hire you specifically. The players hire you.
Yeah. Yep. So they'll have me come out. I work with alum too, Samir Torrance. He just went into the G League for Detroit, and I work with him. If we can get into a gym, Liverpool. Sometimes we get into Siena. Work with players there. But I don't work with the whole team.
School.
I don't go through the school. I don't go through Jerry. I don't go through anyone. I go through the players. I really got close with Noah Lobdell, which is a player for Syracuse, and he's roommates with Cayenne. So I get in with him. I get close with him. He invited me out to summer workouts or summer private runs for the Syracuse team this year, which will be fun. I'm excited to see those. So just making connections. That's really the biggest thing.
That's Carmelo's son.
And I'm well aware of that. And really, it's the they say that some of the greatest, like you had said, I didn't feel like I was good enough to play college ball, and I wasn't going to go anywhere. A lot of times, it's the person who was a standout, but not quite enough to make it in pro or in Division I. That they're the ones who, I don't know why it is. Maybe you're able to sit back or maybe it's just built in you, the ability to teach. But it seems like you have that, whatever that is.
Yeah, I definitely. I've always had a passion for basketball. So studying it, and the workouts itself, it doesn't really feel like work to me. When you're doing something you love, it makes it easy for sure.
And he was a great player. Like, he could have played at the next level. He had a tough deal with his high school coach that makes things difficult, and that always happens.
And I'm not saying that, but you were going to play for Syracuse. But it takes a player like that who actually maybe has to work harder, or maybe has to work to observe more, or whatever that is. The worst coaches are the pro superstars. They don't know how to teach oftentimes.
Right, I agree. It's definitely harder. Building credibility was my hardest thing to start off with. Getting my name out there as this kid from VVS that, didn't average much in high school, and I wasn't really known up until I started this business, and it's hard getting your name out there, even with going up to California like that. You'd be surprised. It helps you, but it's big on talking to people. Be nice.
We're wrapping it up. Go ahead.
I wanted to follow up on that, and I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to seem rude. Right? What is it? Where does the credibility come from? Because you are 19 years old, right? Didn't have a lot of points in high school. How does that? Is it like a certification? Is it just the people that you've worked with or learned from?
Reputation and social media, for sure. Social media is a huge thing. I know that my generation knows more than your generation, especially. I think social media is very underrated for people now that are trying to start a business. The credibility that you can gain from just posting who you work with.
Clips are
you can
amazing.
find me on unscripted.academy on Instagram and Facebook. I post all my clips. My last video I just posted had 10,000 views. So 10,000 people. I mean, you get a room of 10,000 people watching your stuff.
Who are interested in that.
And you keep posting.
And it's specialty. This is very unique, special to the sport. That's what makes us.
Exactly.
There's not a lot of good trainers like him in this area.
Yeah. I just have to say, brilliant. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
And the fact that you have the ability to, because listen, if you're hired by somebody, you got to put your money where your mouth is. You got to be good at what you do.
Right. Exactly.
Or
Definitely.
they're not inviting you to go to summer camp or whatever.
Right. Yes. Results is everything for sure.
Okay.
Joe in Whitesboro says, with all due respect, they don't need him. They need a free throw coach.
Syracuse. Oh my God. How do you fix? Here's a question.
Oh boy.
Quick and last question. How do you fix the mental? It seemed like Syracuse, I mean, they'd go to that free throw line, and they were the worst free throw shooting team in all of college basketball, it seemed. How do you fix the mental? Because these guys have talent. They just cannot put the ball in the net.
Yeah, so it's a lot of just reps, You got to be confident taking a shot that you take 1,000 times a day. So if you're, again, I wasn't in their practice facility last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many free throws they were shooting during the season.
Right,
but
right.
It sure didn't look like it was
Didn't
enough.
look like a lot.
No, it didn't look like a lot, no.
Or enough.
So hopefully we can fix that this year.
All right, and you'll work with local kids here as well.
Yes.
They search what for you?
Unscriptedacademy.com. Yep.
Unscriptedacademy.com.
Yes.
All right.
You can book your sessions on there.
Good stuff. Yeah. By the way, Mike says on teaching me how to dunk. Thanks for that, Jeff. The only dunking Bill will be doing is at that donut shop, Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, probably right. Probably right. All right, Ryan, good stuff. Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
having me on. I appreciate it.
No break here, Davey. I'm going to keep moving. I know. Roll your eyes all you want. It's not going to change anything.
About that.
Robert Smullen on the line right now. He's Assemblyman Smullen and is running for Congress in the 21st Congressional District. And Robert, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Here's this, you guys.
Great. Good to be on WIBX this morning, Bill.
Thank you. Tell me, if you would, your thoughts just quickly on the budget that just passed.
Wow, it's a big one. $250 billion, money that we don't have for things that we don't need. I voted no on all aspects of it, not because I don't like what parts of the budget are in there, but this is something that New York can't afford. We have gone from $170 billion to $270 billion of spending in just a short period of time. And that's why over 1 million upstaters have actually left New York. They've gone to other places to live because they can't afford to live here. That's what the budget is doing to our people.
Yeah. All right. Well, because it's such a very important time, here we are moving into June, and the primary coming up. There was a debate the other night from CBS 6 in Albany, and you versus Anthony Constantino. Your take on that and the performance and your takeaways.
Well, obviously my opponent refused to debate. He's actually refused 5 different debates, and finally he was shamed into coming by public pressure to be able to do something live and on camera. And I think that the real takeaway from this, if people have watched the debate, is that I am the best candidate for NY21, that he is not really fit for this office, and that they ought to vote for me on June 23rd.
What about the issue of the not shaking his hand? That's something a lot of people are talking about.
Well, I know, Bill, that people crave civility in politics, and the debate is a real discussion on issues and policies, and they deserve to make a fully informed decision about who's asking for the vote. But I got to tell you, to be honest with you, this race is personal for me, as it should be to all of the voters in the region. Cost of living, public safety, economic opportunity. It's all on the line. I take all that seriously. But when someone sends me a threatening text message before we even walk on the debate stage and then exploits the death of my son, you have to forgive me if a handshake isn't my first instinct.
Okay, so you refused because of the way you have been treated and the things that he has done to you.
Well, I got to tell you, he's shown repeatedly that he knows no boundaries, morally or ethically. He and his team exploited the death of my son and the Donate Life organ donation network that I've dedicated myself to in AJ's memory. There are no words for how low that is. He sent me a threatening text message. He's sent threatening voicemails targeting elderly voters who support me, people who they're simply expressing their support for my campaign on social media. That's not politics. That's not America First. That's intimidation.
Okay, can you expand on that? What was in the text message he sent to you that you considered a threat? And then you talked about, I believe, exploitation of, tragically, your son's passing. And
yeah, explain, if you could, what happened.
Yeah, he sent me a text message that I received that's calling me an evil person in no uncertain terms. Is that somebody that you would want to shake hands with after a debate? There is, politics is politics, but this is coming from someone who currently employs an admitted child molester. He's previously hired someone wanted for stabbing a man to death on his campaign. He sent people like that to voters' home to campaign for him. It's full stop. That disqualifies him from representing the families of this district. He has done all of these things, including vile, hateful statements about law enforcement, calling cops racist and murderers. He sold stickers calling for the killing of police. Our people in law enforcement deserve much better than that every day when they go out to protect our communities. They deserve much better than that.
Calling you evil and saying nasty things isn't necessarily a threat. You said he threatened you.
Well, it certainly is enough of a threat that it needs to be looked into, because when you think about this race and what's going on, is that this is his tactic. He needs to know that he can't do these sorts of things. Voters need to know that he's a lifelong Democrat and he's a Democrat donor who only registers a Republican to run for the seat. Primary voters, Republican primary voters on June 23rd, they care about that. I don't think this is a person that is fit to serve the people of New York 21 in Congress. Voters here deserve somebody who has some character. We need to send a Marine to clean up the swamp in Washington, D.C., someone like me with a proven conservative Republican track record.
I'm sorry to harp on this. You said he threatened you. Is it he just said bad things about you? Is that what you're saying you meant to say?
No. He sent me a text message wanting to threaten and intimidate me into my political speech. That he's going to sue me, that he's going to make an example of me, that he's going to do this all because I'm evil and I'm bad for our country.
Okay.
I disagree. I think that this race is about character. I think that it's quite obvious to all of the voters who the person of character in this race is, and it's Robert Smallman.
And then you said also exploiting the tragic death of your son.
Yeah, I mean,
what did he say? Yeah.
Well, what did he say? What did he do? And this is a verbatim quote from it that I'll read to you. Using his own dead son as a political prop. I wasn't going to go there. But Smullen has gone, I'm paraphrasing here, has gone really low with his accusations and is willing to, it's just, he said he's going to sue me, all of these things. He's clearly meaning to intimidate you. He's just a bully in skinny jeans.
Did he box? Did he really box? I saw on his website that there are pictures of him as a boxer.
Well, he makes claims of that sort of thing, but I'm telling you, I was a United States Marine for 24 years. No one is going to threaten me. No boxer is going to threaten me. I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm going to win this race because the people know that if they want someone who's strong and substantive, they should vote for Robert Smullen in this primary.
And by the way, the Elise Stefanik seat covers a small part of Oneida County, actually a significant part of Oneida County, the city of Rome and Griffiths, as well as other parts of Oneida County and all of Herkimer County, and then makes its way back towards the 518 area code. A couple of things. Obviously, he has said that you, over and over again during the debate, saying that you did not support President Trump. You weren't at the inauguration. You didn't go to, of course, you didn't go to his fundraiser. Let's be honest. He was having a rally for Trump. I can't imagine you would go to Constantino's rally, but he brings that up as well. Can you respond to that?
Well, what people need to know is that I was actually appointed by President Trump. I was a commissioner in the last administration. I have done so much to support the Republicans. I've done so much to support President Trump. In 2016, I was the only person that could vote in the Republican primary for President Trump because my opponent was actually not even registered in 2016. He certainly couldn't vote in a primary. He registered as a Democrat in 2018. He had to register again as a Democrat during Joe Biden's administration in 2022. And it was only after President Trump won a second term in office and when he decided he was going to run for Congress, that he suddenly had an epiphany that he needed to be a Republican to do that. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I've actually had some of this that is out on the web sent to me. There is a voicemail that was left for you. Is that correct?
It was actually sent to an elderly person who was supporting me, someone who is willing to post on social media about. This is what happens: is that all of this stuff that's out on social media, he attacks people that put it out there. It's utterly ridiculous. Him and his trolls and all of the people that he surrounds himself with. They're not good people.
All right. So full disclosure, this is coming from your campaign that was sent to us. I want to play a voicemail. It looks like it comes from Liz Joy. Is that the elderly person?
That's the person that's put it out there.
Okay.
Of course, the person that sent it out is very scared, and it's it's important that people hear this. But go ahead, Bill.
All right, let me play it. Here's the audio. It's coming. And here it is.
A smear of my company or his dishonest smear. I've given away millions of dollars to support our local community. I spent millions of dollars supporting President Trump. I think your behavior needs to be corrected immediately. Please call me and let me know if you're going to fix your behavior. And if not, let me know who else thinks similarly to the way you do, because I don't appreciate Republicans, fake Republicans, smearing local businesses like my own. I got enough crap from the Democrats. If the Republicans want to do it too, you're going to have big problems with me. Thank you. Anthony Constantino, I saw you shared Bob Smollen's smear of my company or his dishonest smear.
Okay. So that is where this. So he called the woman. You're saying this was sent to an elderly woman who shared your negative post on Constantino, and that's what that message is.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that he thinks he can call people and say that they're going to have a problem if they don't modify their behavior. And that's what he did to me, Bill. He sent me a threatening text. Can you imagine having a congressperson that behaves this way representing us in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah. I want to ask you some questions on the debate. Of course, he said from the debate, he said that you do not support President Trump. You're not aligned with President Trump. Did you attend the inauguration of President Trump once or both?
So I actually attended both of them in 2017 and then in 2025. But also, Bill, I actually went to the Republican National Convention in 2024, the one that was held in Milwaukee. I was there when President Trump, and I was only just a few dozen feet away from him when he came in and he had the bandage on his ear from being shot at in Butler, Pennsylvania. I was on the floor of the convention when J.D. Vance, a fellow Marine like myself, gave his acceptance speech. So the idea that I am not sufficiently supportive of President Trump and his administration, it's all baloney.
And I'd ask you that after he's done these things that you think are and I think that most people viewing it would consider it negative. You feel it's vile and dangerous and certainly unbecoming of a congressional candidate. In that, do you feel that? Do you have some bit of anger with President Trump for endorsing a guy like this?
Not at all. What I think is that Anthony Constantino is unfit to serve in this office. People just need to go to the realanthonyconstantino.com. They can see it. They can read about it. They can make their own conclusions. But I believe that this person is unfit to serve as our congressperson. And that's why my candidacy, why it's going so strong, why people on the ground are supporting me all around this district, all 15 counties. As I've been campaigning, it's been going great. People are supporting me. I'm going to win this primary in June 23rd for the Republicans. I'm already on the ballot in November on the Conservative Party line, and we're going to win this race in November against the Democrat, because that's what the people deserve. That's what the people want in the 21st Congressional District.
I know you're a big fan of President Trump, and President Trump did extremely well here, maybe 2-3 times in running for president. But I guess you have to hope that they don't come to the same conclusion that he did. That
the people in Texas and other places have.
Yeah.
Well, like anything else, politics, it's all politics is local. 12 of the 15 counties have endorsed me. Every single member of the Assembly Republican Conference has endorsed me. The New York State Rifle and Pistol Association has endorsed me. The New York State Troopers PBA has endorsed me. And guess what? A little teaser here, Bill. Mm-hmm. We've got another big endorsement coming this week that's really going to affect things in this race.
Okay. All right. Well, now you got me really wondering, is Elise Stefanik going to finally make an endorsement? It's got me thinking.
Well, thanks so much for that, Bill. And I really support Elise. I supported her in Congress for her campaigns. I supported her in her race for governor. And we'll announce our news later in the week.
Okay.
About that.
All right. I do want to ask you a couple of things from the debate. We talked about the shaking of the hands and the fact that you've owned that and gave us valid reasons on why you did not. Your take, was the 2020 election stolen for President Trump?
So there's a lot of things out there in these states, and everybody knows, just like in New York, that voting is a state-by-state affair, that the actual controllers of the boards of election in each of the states control it. And I have big concerns about what happened in Pennsylvania. I have big concerns about what happened in Georgia. And those need to be gotten to the bottom of before any conclusions are drawn about that election.
Well, there have been several lawsuits, and in every single one, the lawsuits, the court investigations came back saying if there was any fraud, it was at such a small level it would have played no role in the outcome of the 2020 election.
Well, that's why we need the Voter ID Act, is to make sure that everybody that goes to vote in every state, and this is a federal law that's going to be passed, that their identification is checked. I know for a fact in New York that there are people who are here illegally because of the so-called green light law, which gave driver's license to illegals, that they did not properly opt out of making sure that they aren't on the voter rolls. Every voter roll in every state needs to be properly looked at. And the only way that it's going to be done is through the Voter Act. And I just want to make sure we say this, Bill, that this big announcement that we're going to have here this week, it's not about Elise. It's something different, just so you and your listeners are clear.
So it is not an Elise Stefanik. Okay, I appreciate. My apologies for taking that leap, but I'm that's just me. A couple of others. If you're elected to Congress, and this would really go for President Trump, but also any president in the future, if elected to Congress, do you feel Congress should play a role in whether or not we go to war, and specifically whether or not we continue in Iran currently?
Yeah, so what you're talking about and what everybody needs to know is that war powers is actually the power to declare war lives with Congress, sort of thing. What's happening in Iran right now is not a war, not in a technical aspect, not in a real aspect, even though I've said before that the Iranians have been at war with us for the last 47 years. We need to finish the conflict there. It's absolutely within the purview, the powers of Congress to scrutinize that. The Congress, I think, may or may not vote on whether or not they will invoke the war powers resolution. But I don't know what's going to happen there.
Would you vote for that?
I would certainly take a look at it, but at this time, no, I wouldn't.
Okay. And then the Mike Pence yesterday was talking about this slush fund to be used to pay people restitution for what the president has said was terrible treatment from this government, and that could include J6 insurrectionists to be compensated. Do you think those insurrectionists should be compensated?
Well, Bill, certainly no insurrectionist should be compensated. But I think everyone that was mistreated by the previous administration having to do with January 6th, their cases deserve to be looked at, and they need to be able to have some sense of justice served back to them for what was done to them by the previous administration.
Okay.
And then, this is something that's been kicked back and forth by Republicans. I want to follow up on the Iran war situation. What, in your mind, would shape this as a war, as opposed to a military action?
Right. So we're in a conflict. Like I said, we've been in a conflict. We need to make sure that Iran does not get a nuclear weapon, so they can't destroy Israel, so they can't destroy the United States. We need to open the Straits of Hormuz so the oil can freely flow like it should. It's commerce. The Iranians shouldn't be able to hold the world's economies hostage to their political demands. And the third thing is that the Iranian people should decide who is their government in Iran. And I think that's trending towards changing away from these Ayatollahs who ran it with an iron fist, frankly, for the last 47 years. And as far as, the Congress going, whether they go forward with some sort of war powers resolution, that needs to be very carefully looked at, because we are in a difficult situation here. And Congress, can support the war if they want to make it a war, or they can limit the president's powers if they choose to do so. That's up to Congress.
I think the vast majority of our audience completely agrees with the first 3 points that you made there on the situation in Iran. But What, I mean, we've bombed 15,000 sites there. At what point does this become a war? And as opposed to a conflict, at what point does it escalate to that level in your mind?
It does when Congress declares war.
Okay.
And then I wanted to ask one of the other things he's gone after you on is raising money. He claims that he has raised far more money and certainly has spent far more money, but says that you only raised about, I don't know, $13,000. What have you raised? What kind of money? And he claims you lied about how much money you raised.
Well, that's part and parcel for somebody who's trying to buy an election. He's spent millions of dollars at this point, and we're still ahead, which is a great place to be. We have raised money from all around the district, from literally hundreds and thousands of people in the district, around New York State, around the country. And we are actually winning this race because the people know what's going on. And, it's just more of the same from this guy. And it just shows how unfit he is to serve in Congress.
And then finally, this is the text message that your campaign is saying was sent to you by Anthony Constantino. There was a point in time where I felt bad for you and wanted to be nice when you lose. But I have since learned you are a truly evil person, that I must protect America from you. Your pathological lying is disturbing, and the way you conduct yourself is devoid of any dignity. The odds of me acting on my very valid lawsuit against you are high, and I am highly inclined to use you as a case study to teach other evil people to stay out of politics. I'm not joking at all. You are evil, and I will protect my country from you. That is one of the text messages you say he sent to you.
He sent it to me. Is that not intimidation? Is that not trying to threaten someone? What do you do with evil people? And that's a question that everybody out there needs to ask themselves in their mind. I am not an evil person. I am a servant leader who cares very deeply about the public, who cares very deeply about New York State, who cares very deeply about our country. I served in the Marine Corps for 24 years, honorably. I did 3 combat tours in Afghanistan. I was amongst the first Marines who went into Afghanistan after 9/11. I went back again and again, and I was not only awarded medals like the Bronze Star Medal and the Combat Action Ribbon, but when I left service and when I came home, I was given the Legion of Merit from the Marine Corps. That's not someone who is a effing coward, as he has described me in the past. That is totally beyond the pale, and it just shows what his character is like. We don't need more crazy in Congress, Bill.
Assemblyman Smullen, we appreciate your time, and we'll do this again. Early voting is just a little ways away, so thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. People can go to www.robertsmullenforcongress.com, find out all about me, all the good things I've done, and all the great things I'm going to do for the 21st Congressional District. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much. Assemblyman Smullen. All right, we'll talk more about this on as we go, but I'm moving. Switching gears, I go from one boxing event to another. Ladies and gentlemen, please, this is really something special. A Hall of Fame weekend is June 12th. Fight night is June 12th at the Turning Stone, and the Turning Stone is hosting boxing legend Christy Martin, who is on the line with us right now. Christy Martin, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Wonderful. I did you hear that fight? There was some fighting going on before. I don't know if you heard it on hold.
I heard a little bit, and I was like, oh, boy, that's a tough one to follow.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
Yeah.
Well, you certainly can. You can do it. The Turning Stone hosting you for Hall of Fame night, featuring 2 title bouts and a special tribute to the 1976 U.S. Olympic gold medal boxing team. Sugar Ray Leonard and other boxing guests will be there ringside along with yourself. I'm assuming you're excited to come up here to Hall of Fame weekend.
I always get excited when Hall of Fame weekend rolls around. There's so much. So it's an honor. It's an honor to be involved in the Hall of Fame induction weekend. It's a huge honor to get to promote this fight on Friday night, June 12th, which is also my birthday. So we're going to have a fireworks in the ring, and hopefully we'll have some fireworks after celebrating my birthday too.
Well, you share a birthday with my brother, so he'll be celebrating with you on the 12th. I got to say, Sydney Sweeney played you in the movie. Your story, first of all, how accurate is the story? How accurate is the movie?
The movie's really accurate. I mean, some of the happening situations were combined or like not exactly in order, like my fight career and things like that. But like the description or depiction of each and every individual really was right on.
I gotta say, what a life! What an amazing, what bravery you have! What fight you have! What an amazing story that was.
Thank you. God has blessed me over and over, and I'm trying to take that now. And with Christie's Champs, my nonprofit for domestic violence awareness, we're just trying to help as many people as we possibly can. I truly made a deal with God from my hospital bed that if you'll let me live, I will try to help one person before I leave this earth. And then, as I always say, the arrogant in me kicked in and said, no, I want to help one person every day. So that's my goal, is to really make a difference and make people stand up and take notice of domestic violence.
You know, not to exploit the domestic violence in the movie, but I didn't know. I want to go back to the accuracy part. How accurate was that? Because I got to say, watching it, I thought you were about to die. I thought it was all over.
Yeah, he thought so too.
Yeah.
But as I say, God has a plan for me, and I prayed hard that night, laying on the floor, bleeding out, and just to help me get out. And thank God I was able to get out. He missed my heart by 3 inches with that pink 9mm. So it's by the grace of God that I am here and able to be involved in the Hall of Fame weekend.
Wow. For those, which by the way, I think what you're doing now and raising money and help and awareness for domestic violence, I think is the greatest thing. And you've had such a great career, but that is the greatest thing of all to me. The bravery and the responsibility that you take on here to stand up for other domestic violence victims is incredible.
Thank you. And that's what I say. I have a lot of titles, but the title I'm most proud of is domestic violence survivor.
Yeah. For those who aren't familiar, and obviously the movie details.
Gotta watch the movie. The movie's really good.
Multiple times and then shot in the chest by her then husband, who is now serving 25 years to life in prison. Just a great survivor story. Christy, can I ask you, growing up, you did so much to legitimize women's boxing. At what point, because obviously before you, it wasn't as big as it became and has become. At what point did you say, I'm interested in pursuing this? I have an opportunity here. Did it even seem realistic? Did it begin as just a hobby or a way to stay in shape?
So it was crazy back in my time. Women couldn't even box amateur. Not that I would have, because I'm from West Virginia, and boxing is really not a big deal in my state. So I never thought about it as a career. It just kept growing and growing. I did the Tough Man contest, and then somebody said, well, I'd do a pro fight. I thought, why not? And just to say I did it once. My degree is in education. I just thought I'd be teaching school for the rest of my life. And I'm in a different school of hard knocks instead of in the classroom.
Wow.
Yeah, that's. Could you imagine having Christy Martin as your teacher? You know what? We need teachers like you today, because some of these students mouth off and even get physical with teachers, and I feel like that would be such an abrupt awakening for a student who tried to put his hands on you.
I once had a teacher tell me, one more time and I'm going to knock you on your ass. I didn't believe it. But if you said that to me, I'd be like, okay, I believe it. Cully, what do you have?
Hey, Christy, Steve Cully, best podcast host in the universe.
Oh,
you are a legendary icon, pioneer of the sport. What gave you the heart and the resilience to overcome such tremendous adversity, and continue on?
That's a great question. I just really believe that God has a plan for me, and that being here and talking with you guys this morning about, we're going to talk about boxing, but really we're talking about domestic violence, and that's what is important, and that's God's plan for me. Like, just to bring awareness, try to break the cycle, and help others. I mean, it's, you know what? I say kindness is free. And dang, there's not enough people giving away free kindness.
You found your purpose.
Found your purpose. I want to just get a little of what's happening coming up here, because we're running out of time. Talk about some of the boxing that's going to happen. That includes Utica's own Katrina Scalzo, who's an elementary school teacher, is on the card with a heated rematch against Michelle Cook. Their fight went back to February. Was a draw.
Yeah, I remember this,
and it's coming back this weekend. So there's a lot of and a couple of title fights. There's a lot going on.
We have 2 title fights, but I've already kind of informed people that Katrina and Michelle probably are going to steal the show, because it was such a, like you said, it was a heated battle the first time, and I don't expect anything less. I think it's only going to get a little hotter. These two are really going to go after it, and I'm excited. Because you know, women need opportunities. Jake Paul's doing a great thing with that group, but not everybody gets to be part of Jake Paul's promotion. So I'm proud that these 2 ladies have decided to be part of the Hall of Fame show this weekend or next weekend at the Turning Stone.
Turningstone.com for tickets. 361 show. There are still tickets available, and I have a million questions for you, and we're running out of time. But here, how did Sydney Sweeney do? How did she do for you?
I think she knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, so many people know Sydney Sweeney, and I always tell, you know, she's sexy Sydney, but she got down and dirty and became Christy Martin.
She really did. In fact, one of the criticisms was she's, and this is no knock on you, but you heard it. She's too pretty to play this role. She's right? And I thought she did a tremendous job. But only you would know.
No, she was 100% right on with mannerisms, with actions. And she did the fight scenes. She wanted to be in there hitting people and getting hit. So it was fun, and it was fun to watch that, and to, you know, just to be part of the movie being made.
We can't wait to see you here, Christy Martin. Thank you so much.
June 12th, big night.
Get your tickets. Be ringside. Ray Leonard's going to be there. It's going to be a great night.
Turningstone.com. Thank you so much. We'll talk again. Thank you. All right.
And, of course, a chance to win tickets.
Another time tomorrow. Another chance tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right. Got to go. Back tomorrow.
The Federal Reserve has just announced a change in leadership, and that could have a profound impact on the value of your retirement. That's why now, more than ever, you need Advantage Gold, the #1 precious metals company in America. Call Advantage Gold right now at 800-900-8000 and get your free gold and silver investor guide, a $49 value, plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's latest book, Our Dollar, Your Problem, giving you powerful insight into the future of money, markets, and global currency trends. Our specialists can help you open a new account or transfer funds from an existing IRA, tax and penalty free. Markets are unpredictable and they can turn fast, but precious metals are a safe haven asset that stand the test of time and volatile market conditions. The question isn't if the next shift is coming, it's when. Are you positioned? Don't miss this opportunity. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. Results may vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Blues fans, get ready to hit the road. The New York State Blues Fest is back this June, bringing the soul, grit, and groove to the New York State Fairgrounds in Syracuse. Featuring Grammy-winning powerhouse Gary Clark Jr., plus a full lineup of world-class blues, rock, and roots artists. It's free, outdoors, and one of the biggest blues festivals in the Northeast. Make it a weekend. RV spots are still available. The New York State Blues Fest. Learn more at nysbluesfest.com.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away.